game with Liverpool, and this is a team in Atalanta who've been through hell, them and their whole community.
Yeah, absolutely. It was that draw against Manchester City when they said this is the last time that they saw their team have fun. And of course, then they were hit by the pandemic. So this is a chance to go to Anfield when there is a full crowd, when they can feel the atmosphere. This is the chance to show that they can do it in Anfield even with the atmosphere. It's going to be fun to watch, but it's a time to get back to the people.
Absolutely. Mina, thank you very much. That is Mina Rzouki. Atalanta very much there to have fun, but also not to be underestimated. So remember, we'll be keeping you up to date with the Europa Conference League quarter-final first leg, Aston Villa against Lille, the Europa League quarter-final first leg, Bayer Leverkusen versus West Ham. During commentary from Anfield, they are all 8 o'clock kickoffs. In 2 minutes' time, if you go over to 5 Sports Extra like Stephen Warnock would rather do, you can listen to the Masters commentary with our team at Augusta. We're focused on the football on 5 Live, and Stephen is alongside Vicky Sparks.
Thank you, Steve. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Anfield, which is in fine voice as ever on this European night, as Jurgen Klopp looks to win the only trophy that he has not lifted with Liverpool in his final season with the club. And Stephen, it does seem fitting, doesn't it, that if all goes to plan, he could sign off as Liverpool manager in May in Dublin by lifting the Europa League.
Well, that'll be the ideal goal. I think that'll be the icing on the cake if he wins the Premier League as well. I think the penultimate, the one that he is desperate to win is the Premier League. To be able to lift that trophy in front of the fans at Anfield, to also be able to parade it around the city. They never got the opportunity to do that. I think that's something that he's desperate for, but he'll also be wanting to win this competition.
Yes, 3 trophies very much still up for grabs. Well, one in the bag already, the League Cup, of course, for Liverpool. The Premier League, as Stephen mentions, that is the big one. That is where the real glory is. But to win the Europa League for that first time with Liverpool, although Jurgen Klopp might play it down, Harvey Elliott, amongst others, saying that the players, they do want to win it for him, and to sign off in a final, to sign off by lifting that trophy in Dublin would be a fitting way to crown what is this remarkable story between Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool. He said when he announced his decision in January to leave Liverpool that he wanted to write a few more chapters in this wonderful book that club and Klopp have written together. Will they see another chapter in Europe? They're up against Atalanta, who sit 6th in Serie A, but as Steve was mentioning just before handing to us at Anfield, do not take them lightly. They pulled off an almighty shock in the Champions League group stages the last time these sides met. It's only the second European tie that these two have contested. Yes, it was behind closed doors, of course that makes a huge difference, but still, Atalanta and only 2 of their starting 11 were involved in that game, but it's the same manager, it's a lot of the same players in the squad, and they know that they can draw confidence, even though it is different and it is 3 years essentially ago.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things when you think of Liverpool's record at home during COVID. It wasn't the most fantastic one, but put this crowd in place and then suddenly you're playing under a complete...
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately,
said he was looking forward to this atmosphere, to coming to Anfield. The last time they came, there was no fans here. Well, be careful what you wish for. Liverpool can blitz you away here at Anfield. I've seen it too many times. They can, and they're on the attack immediately with Darwin Núñez. He's going to probably play in from the left-hand side. The attack's Juan Musso's goal away to our left. They're in red this evening. Liverpool all in red, head to toe, against Atalanta in white with very thin black hoop pinstripes through the middle of their jerseys and thick black trim down the side. They are playing with 3 at the back, and they pick the ball up in midfield, and Pasalic is looking to escape early. Canate is going to just move in front of Scamacca and get it back to Kelleher, who under pressure does well from the edge of his 6-yard box to play it towards the right-hand side, and Liverpool weave their way up the field. A long high ball up to Núñez, doesn't quite reach him properly. The Uruguayan loses out, but then they attack down the left, Liverpool instead, and it is a fast start to the game.
game. Gakpo peels out towards the near touchline, then nudges the ball infield, gets the return from Endo, then weaves away from Pasalic, feeds Nunez inside the area, couldn't get away from the defender, and Ruggieri did enough just to put him off, and the ball spilled into the arms of Musso away to our left-hand side, and it's Liverpool 0, Atalanta 0, but it's been a vibrant start, as it usually is when you get into this stadium.
Yeah, and it's a terrific bit of play from Gakpo. I really like him as a player. I think he'll be terrific in years to come for Liverpool. The positions he picks up, whether it's from the left or playing as a 9, as he did there, just drifting inside, lovely little back foot touch to take him away, crafty reverse pass into Nunez, who I thought needed to do better, just needed to get hold of that and size up the situation, and he just ran into the defender.
Kelleher is the Liverpool goalkeeper. Gomez, Canate, Van Dijk and Tsimikas the back four. Endo, McAllister and Jones in midfield. Elliott on the right, Gakpo on the left, and Nunez through the centre. For Atalanta, it's Musso in goal, Hein, Jimsiti and Derone. Zappacosta and Ruggieri is the wing-backs. Pasalic and Ederson in midfield. Koopmeiners and De Ketelaere and Scamacca in attack. And Atalanta attacking the Kop in the first half, and the ball is won back by Derone down that left-hand side, manages to nudge it into Scamacca. It might run through to De Ketelaere inside the area. It does run through on the edge of the 6-yard box, and I think it's smacked over the top by Pasalic from about 5 yards out. It's a golden chance.
Well, does it take a deflection? Because they've given a corner here. It was a brilliant ball, just flicked over the top. Elliott thought he was fouled. Liverpool stopped defensively.
Oh, it's a save. It's a save by the face of Kelleher. It comes off his face and goes behind. It's a massive moment in the tie, because Atalanta really should have taken the lead, and Pasalic on any other given day really should have scored. Yeah, he shouldn't have given Kelleher the opportunity to save it.
No, but the goalkeeper does exactly what he's trained to do, which is to shift across and dive across with whatever it takes to stop it.
Here's the corner in towards the near post, and it's then headed away by Gakpo, comes back out to the edge of the area, but Liverpool's defensive vulnerability is exposed once again. The ball delivered into the box from the right side by Zappacosta. It's headed away by Van Dijk, and then it breaks upfield. There's a handball there by Derone. Referee has allowed play on because Gakpo has got beyond him, and now he's fed Nunez, who gallops towards the edge of the area, gets inside the box, goes on the outside, then delivers a ball into the area, which is saved by the goalkeeper. And really, you thought he probably should have chopped back in on his right foot there, Nunez, but he went on the outside instead, and that created a more difficult angle from which to get the shot in. But again, they went from conceding a big chance at one end to creating one at the other, Liverpool.
I mean, they are the best. They're the best when they're defending a corner. They're the best at then ending up with an attack themselves and a shot on goal. They're so quick, and they do gamble at times with players getting forward from their own defensive set plays.
Good ball by Canate into Elliott, who's down in the right wing position, pulls it back into the area, and it comes back to McAllister. It's over the bar. What an opportunity for Liverpool to take the lead. Brilliant break down the right-hand side. Canate sent Harvey Elliott away, cut it back to the penalty spot, and arriving late was McAllister. He opened up his body and opened up his left foot, and he drove the ball over the top of the crossbar. At the other end, Kelleher's made a brilliant save from Mario Pasalic, the former Chelsea midfielder who spent 5 loan spells away from the Stamford Bridge club before settling in Bergamo, and that was a golden chance for him to give Atalanta the lead. And this is a team that have already knocked out the man who is the current favourite to replace Jurgen Klopp as the Liverpool manager, so they can't be taken lightly, Dean.
No, they can't, and it was a terrific save from Kelleher. But I tell you what, goalkeepers work so hard on those situations where it's flashed across to the opposite side. They have to turn, move across their goal and spread themselves. But why then don't forwards and attacking players realise this? Why do they not spend time speaking to goalkeepers to realise this is what they're working on? I saw it last night at Portman Road when Keeper Moore putting it in the area that the goalkeepers work on. If that's then low, Kelleher doesn't save it. It's these big moments in big games. Another miss for Liverpool as well. Great cutback from Elliott to McAllister, who's been so good in the last 2 months and just put it over with his left foot.
0-0 somehow at Anfield, and we've played just over 6 minutes on TalkSport. Liverpool not been breezing through matches recently. Falling behind is something that happens with such regularity for them. It is frightening. They should be behind here, but they're not. Manchester United 2-1 up late on in their game on Sunday. They had a couple of shots off Sheffield United early last Thursday when we were here. That kicked them into gear. And then the previous Sunday, they went behind to Brighton. Even Luton scored here first. Here's Elliott over on the far side, swirling the ball back out towards the left edge of the penalty areas. Liverpool come on the attack with Tsimikas, who bends the ball over the goalkeeper's head, and then it just curled away from the far post and went out for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. Tsimikas, who's never scored a goal in regular time for Liverpool, did score the winning penalty in the FA Cup final, but in terms of in open play, he hasn't scored a goal for 6 years. He was playing for Willem II the last time he scored a goal.
Only Gomez has been on a longer streak than that. But it was a really disappointing cross. Great position, great ball over the opposite side from Elliott to Tsimikas, and he gets his head up, and yes, it was close to going in from the cross, but I looked at Gakpo, I looked at Nunez, neither one of them said anything. I think at times that's where you need to turn and say to your teammate, that needs to be better.
Is that something that comes with experience as well, though, that confidence to turn around and demand more from those around you?
Yeah, I don't think there's many players as Liverpool win it back.
Gakpo tries to take it away from Pasalic and then helps it forward. Actually, they should have brought the ball back for a free kick, and the referee does that, and congratulations to him. Turkey's Halil Umut Meler, who tonight is taking charge of this Europa League quarter-final first leg, brings the ball back after Gakpo was clearly fouled and then couldn't get up and release the ball where he wanted it to go, so it is a free kick to Liverpool, a good 13 yards outside the penalty area, wide on the right-hand side. It's a milky grey, light blue sky as the sun sets in Merseyside, the floodlights on, the pitch looking lush and green, and Jurgen Klopp standing as he always does in his baseball cap on the perimeter of his technical area, watching as Liverpool go up in formation to attack the goal in front of the Anfield Road stand where those blue-shirted Atalanta fans are. It's a delivered ball by McAllister in towards the far post. Gakpo's header goes up in the air and it's easily grabbed by Musso, and it will be cleared away by Atalanta. 8.5 gone on TalkSport, and Atalanta, who won on their last visit to Anfield 4 years ago, behind closed doors, as Dean was saying, know that repeating that feat will be a harder task tonight. Liverpool have made pretty much smooth progress throughout the Europa League journey so far, and the winners of tonight's game will play Benfica or Marseille in the semi-final. Well, I said the winner of tonight's game, the winner over 2 leg of this evening's tie. There are no goals in the Europa League so far, nothing in the Europa Conference League. Anything changes, we'll be back with Abigail Davis. Over on TalkSport 2 tonight, remember West Ham are in action. They're coming forward, Atalanta here. The ball played down the right-hand side, and Koopmeiners is trying to get in behind Virgil van Dijk, who just sticks with him and allows him to slide out of play, and the two countrymen collide. The ball goes behind. It's a goal kick, which Liverpool immediately take. There wasn't even a pause for breath there, Dean. They want to get things moving quickly.
Yeah, it's the big strength of their side is being able to just cut through teams when they're disorganised, when they're not ready for it.
That's one of the reasons why we've seen, especially in the last 18 months or so, such an increase in the number of muscle injuries that we've had. The fact that the play doesn't stop at all. It almost immediately restarts as soon as it goes out of play.
Yeah, I think it makes a great point, but also what's required now of players, you know, where I say I used to be able to get through a good 10 minutes of doing absolutely nothing. Not anymore.
Here is Gakpo trying to nudge the ball forward to Nunez. It's away by the centre-half Isaac Hein and out towards the far side. It's collected eventually by Elliott over on the far side and then sent back towards the left, and it's just missed by Tsimikas, who has to scurry back to the halfway line, play it back infield before Ederson gets in front of Gakpo and forces Liverpool back towards the edge of their own penalty area, away to our right-hand side. Ooh, and then there's a bit of pressure from De Ketelaere on Kelleher, who shows some nifty footwork to get out of a tight situation. There is a foul on Tsimikas, which eventually the referee will call back and give a set piece for Liverpool 4, and we've played 11 minutes and it remains Liverpool 0, Atalanta 0, live on TalkSport. Your hamstrings not up to the intensity of the modern game, is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There used to be a thing called a breather.
Yes, we don't get those anymore. You know, and actually, it sounds like we're sort of joking about it, really,
No,
but even
being
technically, we're being totally serious.
Absolutely.
Because I do when I do the TV commentary, the directors, the match directors, struggle to get in the replays in between the restarts.
Yeah.
It's very, very difficult for them to do that now, because they can't take a risk of allowing a replay to be going out once the ball goes back in play, because people play so short and out from the back so often that obviously chances get created.
Yeah.
Here is Koopmeiners coming forward for Atalanta, plays it out to the wide right into Ruggieri, cut back towards Koopmeiners again by De Ketelaere. Why didn't he turn and try and swivel that into the goal? It was open inside the penalty area. It's cleared away. Here's Scamacca, played in by Koopmeiners from the number 10 position right down the middle of the 18-yard box, and then he sort of miscontrols it and gives it back to Kelleher. There's a couple of half chances there. Offside flag is up against Nunez, but going back to the Atalanta attack, they were wide open, Liverpool at the back.
More than half chances these. You're absolutely right. Why does De Ketelaere not just take this on himself? He's very, very clever, I have to say, and it is a lovely Cruyff cutback towards Koopmeiners. But really, he's stood on the 6-yard line. All he has to do is change the position of his body, swivel and shoot towards goal. Instead, he's already thinking of the clever little bit of play, and he's taking it off Van Dijk here.
Yeah, Van Dijk has just been charged down by De Ketelaere. Out on this near touchline by the corner flag, attacking the goal away to our right, helped out now by Zappacosta, once of Chelsea, gets onto his right foot, bends the ball into the box, it's away by Canate, picked up by Ederson in the centre of the park, and then turned back out towards this near touchline where it's collected by Jim Seaty and then sent down this near touchline. There's a foul there by Tsimikas. It's going to be a free kick on De Ketelaere, just a couple of yards in from the touchline wide on the right. Liverpool 0, Atalanta 0, 13 minutes gone, but Liverpool certainly haven't had everything their own way. From a side they've actually gone through a bit of a spot of bother recently, 6 in Serie A. They've won just 2 of their last 9 games, lost the last 2, but it wasn't long ago that they were dismantling Scudetto winners Napoli. Free kick which will be taken on this near touchline by Koopmeiners, and he will swing it in left-footed, I think, towards the penalty spot. And Isaac Hine is up from the back. Passage in there as well. The ball's delivered towards the far post, but it's too heavy, and it goes into the cop rather harmlessly. So we'll go off to the game at Villa Park, where there's been an early goal for TalkSport's Abigail Davis.
There has indeed, from an out-swinging corner on the right-hand side. Ollie Watkins was there to meet it, to head the ball downwards into the back of the net. It's his 3rd opportunity in quick succession. This time he makes no mistake in firing Aston Villa into the lead. It's Villa 1, Lille 0, 14 minutes gone.
And you're listening to Liverpool 0, Atalanta 0 on TalkSport in the Europa League, live with Village Hotels. Visit villagehotels.com. Here is Tsimikas down the left, away by Hine, and then he makes a mess of it and almost gives it to Nunez, and Jim Seaty just puts it out of play on this near side as a result of that, and a bit of a panic, and Liverpool got it back again. 0-0, open game, and I think it probably could be argued that Atalanta have had the better chances in the opening 15 minutes of this game.
They have, and I like the way they've set up defensively out of possession with both Scamacca and De Ketelaere just looking to get onto Canate, and especially Van Dijk. I've noticed teams do this more and more, where they try and stop it.
Jones, lovely ball into Nunez. Goalkeeper came, didn't know what to do, but he came out well enough to put Nunez off, and he shanks the ball well wide of goal and out for a goal kick away to our left. What a delicious ball. Inside left channel. Curtis Jones bending it round the back of the defence, beautifully weighted. Nunez ran onto it. He should have taken it round the goalkeeper and finished it. He didn't.
Well, he's got to take it round the goalkeeper, or he's got to do that Henry finish where you just open your body up and just curl it just around the goalkeeper, because he's totally committed. He's tried to dink the ball from a straight-on position, which is very, very difficult. It means you have to hit that perfectly with the laces. If you get that on the inside or the outside of your foot, it just spins away, and that's exactly what happened. It's a brilliant chance, and it's been well and truly wasted by Darwin Nunez.
And that was a good opportunity for Darwin Nunez, who has got 6 goals in his last 9 games, but has missed a hell of a lot of chances in that period as well. Flag is up over on the far side for a collision involving McAllister and Pasalic, and it's going to be a free kick. It wasn't Pasalic, actually. I think it was Ruggieri over on the far side. It's going to be a free kick just left of the penalty area that Atalanta are defending in front of their supporters. Away to our left, they're taking up half the Anfield Road stand, the two-tiered Anfield Road stand, which is completed this season and certainly adds an extra few decibels to the noise inside Anfield, which has turned into a very impressive stadium over the course of the last few years. This main stand is terrific. That Anfield Road end is similarly huge as they look to go down the other end now. Atalanta, and Desperation gets towards the byline, then crashes into the advertising hoardings. Jones is on the escape. The ball's going to run here to Gakpo, and they immediately run forward, and Gakpo's ball down the left channel looking for Nunez is completely the wrong one, and it was telegraphed enough for Jim City to step across and get it away. But Gakpo's won it back in a left wing position, played it just behind Endo, does terrifically to hold on to the ball. Infield to McAllister, Endo sweeps it wide into the left wing position, and Tsimikas back into Endo once again, and Endo keeps things ticking over well. I think he's been an excellent addition actually, Wataru Endo, who has the ball once again on this near side. Here is McAllister, inside left channel, back to the touchline. On the chalk of that is the blonde hair of Tsimikas, who has it tied back in a bun, up to the lanky, long, thinly limbed figure of Cody Gakpo, who looks to try and play, and McAllister, who's wrestled to the ground by a combination of Koopmeiners and Desperation. And Liverpool have it again on halfway.
And you mentioned Endo, with him back fit again and playing very, very well. It really has released McAllister, hasn't it, into a more advanced position where I think he's much more comfortable, creative, can take it in tight areas under pressure, and actually is a goal threat too.
I think from a global point of view, if you look at the whole season, that's definitely the case. I saw McAllister here last Thursday night against Sheffield United. He played in Endo's role because Endo wasn't available, and he was terrific. He was absolutely superb. I think his confidence has gone through the roof because he's been able to play further forward, and as you say, he's contributed with more goals and more assists and just been probably in a more natural position for him. But his overall play and his technical awareness, I think, has grown. And I spoke to Jurgen Klopp about him last Thursday night, and he said to me that's because from the minute he arrived at the club, he's been desperate to absorb the information that is required to fit into the structure of this team. It's a great quality to have. Atalanta have the ball, 0-0 the score, 19 minutes gone on TalkSport tonight. TalkSport 2 has West Ham against Bayer Leverkusen. We're keeping you in touch with Aston Villa against Lille, and Aston Villa are already in the lead in that game. The ball is out of play over on the far side, and it's away for a throw-in, which will be taken by Joe Gomez, who's in at right back tonight. There's such a stacked bench for Liverpool. They've got Luis Diaz, Szoboszlai, Salah, Jota, and Trent Alexander-Arnold all waiting in the wings. It'll be great for Liverpool to get those big name players back towards the end of the season. I know that Jurgen Klopp has talked about Conor Bradley and some of the other youngsters, João Quansah, one of those still being part of the first team squad as they go into this pivotal period. But having the wealth and the breadth of experience on the bench and in the squad for these key upcoming games is going to be vital for them as they challenge still on two fronts. Here is the ball with Endo infield towards Nunez, back to Jones. They've already won the League Cup. Can they win two more titles? It's possible. Gomez feels he was fouled by the retreating Pasalic, and on the edge of the centre circle the referee is going to give a free kick for Liverpool, who were threatening to go up the other end again.
Yeah, and they're just doing everything so quickly. Every single free kick is just planted down on the floor and popped away, just allowing then players like Elliott and Gakpo just to drift into really good positions where there's just Pasalic who will drift out of that defensive midfield role, so it just leaves Ederson on his own.
Yeah, I've noticed actually that as the game has gone on, De Roon has just sort of started to follow Harvey Elliott around a little bit more rather than be sort of stationed as the left centre half. He's just sort of drifted in with Elliott when Elliott's come in to pick the ball up because he likes to get involved in the play. But De Roon wants to make sure that he's not allowed to get on the ball and try and dictate from that wide area. It's 21 minutes on the clock. Liverpool 0, Atalanta 0. You're listening to TalkSport And it's a throw into Liverpool, down in front of us, away to our right, on their left as they look at it, halfway inside their own half of the field. It's tossed in towards Gakpo, has his shirt pulled by Isaac Hine, and it's going to be a free kick just short of the halfway line. It might well be our first yellow card. It's certainly going to be a talking to, at least, for Hine from the Turkish referee. It's a bit cynical, that, wasn't it?
Slightly, but I think not enough necessarily for it wasn't an immediate counter-attack for Cody Gakpo. But you mentioned that with Darun going in with Harvey Elliott. Well, Hine is doing the same with Nunez, and also Jim City is doing the same sometimes on Jones also. So they're obviously being brave in the way that they're defending, because if you get that wrong, if one player doesn't quite do it right and then cover on the in behind, you're in big trouble.
Here come Liverpool down the left-hand side. The ball played to Tsimikas, the Greek. He's not going to reach that. It's a little bit too heavy, and it's going to go out for a throw in the right full-back position. AC Milan 0, Roma 1, Benfica 1, Marseille 0. Remember, the winners of Benfica Marseille will play the winners of Liverpool and Atalanta in the next round of the competition. Leverkusen 0, West Ham 0, and Aston Villa lead by a goal to 0 in the Conference League tonight. Ball out of play on this near side. Davide Zappacosta sends it infield. Ederson's clearance is inadequate. It's a bit bobbly, doesn't catch it right. It goes straight out of play in front of Gasperini.
Decent touch. Decent touch, that, from Gasperini.
And he controls it, gives it back, and Liverpool have the throw. Keller, just wide of the D. Long, raking ball forward, looking to try and release Gakpo. It's headed away by Hine, and it will be collected by the goalkeeper on the near side of the penalty area. Liverpool 0, Atalanta 0. Atalanta have had a couple of really good opportunities, and Liverpool have had an absolute belting one with Darwin Nunez, which he didn't take. But yet, we are to see the net rippling, and that is a bit of a surprise at Anfield, because usually by now we've had 1 or 2 goals. Here is Van Dijk playing out of defence up to the left, and Tsimikas, then Jones, who elevates the ball with beauty out towards the far side, and Elliott just watched that over his shoulder but couldn't take it down. It skimmed off the greasy surface and goes out for a throw-in over on the far side. And remember, the weekend is going to be busy. We've got Championship action for you and Premier League action as we get to the business end of the season.
I've been impressed with Atalanta, their approach so far, being very proactive without the ball. They're not just sitting there in a deep structure. They're looking to push higher up the pitch, try and stop that ball at source, stop Van Dijk dictating from the back, which he's so good at.
They're a vibrant attacking team, and they've been praised for that throughout the course of the season. It's not a game that you would expect to finish 0-0. They've got good players who are well thought of.
Are you surprised the manager hasn't been mentioned more so in certain jobs that have been available?
Do you know what?
Because of the way they play, they are very
consistent with Atalanta over the course of the last decade or so, that he's been so long serving there that I think it'd have to be one hell of a job to tempt him away. And he's at an age where I think he's reveling with the control that he gets and the influence he has in Bergamo. But yeah, I mean, look, he's designed a very good team. They play very well. They're a progressive football team. And it's always entertainment. Here is Nunez, who likes to bring a bit of entertainment. He runs towards the edge of the box. He's brought down by Hine, and Hine, I'm afraid, was always expected to get a yellow card at some point. He was walking a tightrope, and now he's just gone over that. And it's going to be a free kick on the left edge of the area.
Well, I thought for a second Hine was just going to allow Darwin Nunez to get the other side, because he'd done well. He just stood him up, and then rather than trying to play it through him on the floor, he just chipped the ball with his left foot, Nunez, and it got away from the defender. And just at the last second then, he just dangled out his thigh to crash into Nunez, and it's a dangerous position this for Liverpool. Tsimikas and McAllister will be looking towards goal, I would expect to.
8 years Gasperini has been in charge of this Atalanta team. He said yesterday it was always a thrill to come to Anfield. They wanted to use the frustration of the weekend's defeat to get the better of Liverpool. And they've got defending to do here. Tsimikas' free kick towards the far post, then towards Van Dijk. He's headed away, comes back out on the right edge of the area for Elliott, who tries to curl it towards the far corner. Hits the crossbar, comes down on the line. The referee looks at his watch to see if the goal decision system goes off. It doesn't, and it's cleared away. by Atalanta's defence out towards the far side. A raking right-footed curler to hit the top of the crossbar. Then I think hit the inside of the post, came down on the line and was eventually cleared away.
Oh, it doesn't get much more unlucky than this, does it? It's just so good from Harvey Elliott. Just as he sees the gap, just curls it with his left foot over the top of the goalkeeper, dipping towards that far top corner, kisses the bar, double kisses the post, and out it comes. I mean, if that ends up in the back of the net, it just looks so gorgeous hitting the crossbar and the post, but how agonising.
Still 0-0, just about. Not entirely sure how it's 0-0, but it is 0-0. And Liverpool have had now two very good chances to go with the ones that Atalanta have fashioned as well. Kelleher comes out, stands in between the two Atalanta strikers and sprays the ball to the left where Jones is waiting. He's under pressure from Zappacosta. The ball is back to Kelleher once again. He gives it to Jones, who deep lying brings it to the attention of Elliott, who then turns it back to Endo, gives it to McAllister, gets it back to Elliott, who spreads the play to the left, and Gakpo comes in off the touchline, runs into traffic. Derone stops him in his tracks, goes back out to Elliott, who's got it on the left angle of the penalty area now. Nunez is far side, there's no one in the centre at this moment in time, and then Tsimikas just miscontrols the ball and it runs out of play on this near side of the way. For a throw-in to Atalanta, the away side, who are well supported, it must be said. There's a good, 2,500 of them here tonight, maybe a little bit more than that, who have made a very long journey from just west of Milan to the northwest of Liverpool tonight. There was actually a few of them on my train yesterday, coming back from London up to the northwest.
They were making a terrific noise outside, I have to say, before the game. I think they're like Gasparini, just want to be here at Anfield and soak up the atmosphere themselves, but I think they'll be pleased with the way their team has acquitted themselves, albeit Liverpool will probably feel like they should be ahead, especially with Nunez's chance. That was the one.
There's always a turnover of players at Atalanta because that's the business model, but it is their 5th European quarter-final, their 3rd in 5 seasons. They're experienced at this level. Here is Nunez down the right-hand side, taking on high and getting to the byline, producing a cross into the box. It goes past everybody inside the 6-yard area, comes back out to Jones, who tries to curl it into the far corner, gets underneath it and bends it over the top of the crossbar, and it's out for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. Another good Liverpool attack, this time down that right side. Nunez galloping, getting to the byline, chipping the cross actually beyond everybody who was inside the area, and then it had to be rescued by Jones, who almost rescued it in some fashion.
Intelligent run though, wasn't it, from Nunez? He recognised that Derone had gone into midfield with Elliott, so he just spun high into that right-hand side channel that was totally free, and I don't think he really looked. He just clipped that in towards the area, hoping there was someone at the far post, and there wasn't.
Jones just made a brilliant run down through the middle of the pitch, looking to try and exploit the gap that would emerged in front of him. Tsimikas couldn't pick him out, went wide to the right instead, and the ball ended up going over Elliott's head and out for a throw-in to Atalanta over on the far side. Liverpool 0, Atalanta 0. Liverpool 2nd in the Premier League, Atalanta 6th in Serie A. And still 0-0 between West Ham and Bayer Leverkusen. And Jim Proudfoot and Ray Houghton giving you the commentary of that on Talk Sport 2 this evening. Well worth switching between the two stations. If you've got the Talk Sport app, that's pretty easy. You just flick left and right and you can hear the commentaries throughout the course of the evening here. And remember, tomorrow night, Leicester in action live on Talk Sport 2. Saturday, we've got live Premier League action at 12:30 and at 3 o'clock. And then the Sunday session will give you updates from all the games that are taking place on Sunday afternoon on TalkSport. Canate stretching to keep the ball in far side. Doesn't manage to find Darwin Nunez, and it trickles outside the perimeter of the playing surface and out for a throw-in away to our left-hand side. Half an hour gone. How would you sum it up?
I thought Atalanta started well and really should have gone ahead with the couple of opportunities they had. Since then, I think Liverpool have been in control and they've looked far more dangerous, and they're actually starting to recognise where that space is. When one of the centre-backs is drawn out of their position, they're utilising that space then to get players in behind and causing problems.
Tsimikas has just been warned off by the referee because he's gone wiring into a challenge on Jim Seaty. No yellow card is forthcoming. It's just going to be a free kick short of the halfway line. Liverpool, who've scored more goals than anybody else in the top 5 European leagues, have also had the ability to bounce back when falling behind, but I think they know, and certainly their strikers know, that they have to be more clinical than they were against Manchester United at Old Trafford. In fact, in the programme tonight, that is mentioned by Jurgen Klopp, but he also says, you've got to remember, we did well to create those chances. Here's Gakpo trying to create another one, overhits his pass though, which he picked up on the halfway line, turned and spun, looking for the runner, Elliott, from the right-hand side of midfield, but he just was too heavy with his delivery, and it evaded the England under-21 man and goes away for a goal kick away to our left.
Yeah, it wasn't a difficult pass either. He'd done the right thing with just letting it run across his body, and then saw the run from Elliott. He was wide open on the right hand side, didn't need to smash it across to him, just needed to feed that in, and it was overhit. It's poor from Gakpo.
Endo, who's travelled back towards his own goal, will turn and fire the ball upfield from inside the right channel. He'll clear it away, and then it will come back via the Atalanta midfield. Pasalic leading that, and then looking for Miners, who doesn't quite reach it. Liverpool clear it, goes all the way through to the goalkeeper at the other end, and Musso kicks clear. Canate with a header, Hine with a header. The ball just seesawing between the two back lines at this moment in time, and then Ederson just dawdles on it, got rushed by Gakpo, but got his way out of a tight situation, played it to Pasalic, and then it was played wide to Jim Seaty, who now emerges down the right-hand side. He's got Zappacosta midway inside Liverpool territory. Then Ederson just dawdled on the ball again and invited a challenge from Jones, who takes a quick throw in on the near side, releases Gakpo. He's got to get the ball out to Elliott on the far side. He's declined to do that twice, and the advantage is gone, but Gomez is now aiming it towards Nunez inside the area. It's well dealt with by Hine, and then it's cleared away to the halfway line. That was a missed opportunity. Might not be one for Ruggieri over on the far side. The Italian now feeding the ball into the Belgium De Ketelaere. The youngster tries to twist and turn away from Van Dijk. Van Dijk manages to show his strength and just shield the ball and shield De Ketelaere from finding a teammate. Goes out for a throw-in down by the corner flag away to our far side. 0-0. What a chance that was to get in Elliott, and Gakpo declined it.
Isn't it interesting though, just a little insight into the mind of a player, having just moments before overplayed it and heard the groans of the Anfield crowd. All of a sudden, pretty much exactly the same opportunity arises, and he declines to take it. I think that just shows Gakpo's not quite there yet, is he, as a player, and in terms of his stature here at this football club.
Liverpool warming up some substitutes away to our right-hand side. Szoboszlai, Jota and Luis Diaz are going through their paces. It's not a bad selection of replacements, is it, should they require them? 0-0 the score. They've had some good chances so far, not taken them. Atalanta have had one or two great opportunities as well, but it's goalless at this moment in time. Van Dijk stabbing the ball to his right. Canate, good ball into Nunez. Nunez round the corner, could have played that to McAllister. Decided to go wide to Elliott instead, then picks it up again. The Uruguayan nudges it to the right, looks for the return. And the ball back to him from McAllister wasn't great, and then Gomez goes charging in on Hine. The ball gets to the edge of the area. There was an offside flag up against Nunez. It's going to be a free kick just left of that 18-yard box, and it's in possession of Atalanta once again. Atalanta are much better at home compared with the results on the road. They have lost 7 of their last 16 league games, but they have won a couple of big away games in the Europa League on the travels, including in the last round. Alexei Miranchuk was absolutely superb in the second leg against Sporting, assisting both goals, and he's on the bench tonight. And I mentioned earlier that they played in now 3 quarterfinals in the last 5 seasons, but they did lose the last 2 of those against PSG in the Champions League in 2019-20 and RB Leipzig in the Europa League just 2 years ago. Here is Kelleher at the heart of the Liverpool defence, really. He's playing in between the centre-backs. He's allowed to take his time before dispatching the ball upfield into the path of Nunez, who's beaten in the air by Hine. Eventually is sent back down the left by Liverpool, and Gakpo's got it in between two white shirts. He does well to squeeze it to Endo, who's on halfway. Jones back to Van Dijk. Elliott comes short, receives the ball, looks up, wants to play it back out towards Endo, then decides to go back to his goalkeeper, and Kelleher will be allowed to come out with the ball at his feet, right to the midpoint of his own half, before playing it out to McAllister. McAllister to Canate, then back to McAllister again. It's a good defensive shape by Atalanta, who are stopping Liverpool from moving the ball through them at speed. The best Liverpool chances have come when they've turned the ball over quickly inside their own half and counter-attacked at a rapid pace. But all the while that Atalanta are in their desired shape, and Liverpool found it hard to break them down, Dean.
Well, because of the two forward players just going against Konate and Van Dijk, it means they leave Kelleher to have the ball, but it means if he wants to play out, he's having to play that more risky pass into midfield, which needs a bit of work from the midfield players just to interchange positions to free themselves up.
Well, that's a good flick by Zappacosta down the right to Koopmeiners, and he almost got hold of it. He actually miscontrolled it, and then the offside flag went up against him. I thought that was a bit generous, actually, to be honest. But it was an exposing of the vulnerabilities that Liverpool do have. Here is Nunez down this left-hand side, tight to the touchline. Again, he was squeezed by Koopmeiners and Zappacosta, and then Gomez was robbed of the ball by Scamacca. McAllister goes across, Scamacca wins it back. There's a foul there by McAllister, and it's going to be a free kick short of the centre circle. There's a little bit of frustration, I think, in the air. This is not a usual situation that Liverpool are finding themselves in, where they haven't been able to take one of their chances early in the game. 38 minutes gone.
No, but I've just seen it so many times with Liverpool. They can be like this, and then all of a sudden in a 5-minute spell, the game can be over.
Zappacosta down the right-hand side, bit of space to manoeuvre into. Plays it to the edge of the area. It's into the net from Scamacca, who hits it right-footed from 10 yards out and converts a chance at last. Atalanta have had several opportunities. They finally scored one of them, and Scamacca has come back to haunt Liverpool. At West Ham, he couldn't flourish, but with Atalanta, he certainly is. And the Italian side are ahead at Anfield. It's Liverpool 0, Atalanta 1, and it's Gianluca Scamacca who scores.
Well, that's the Achilles heel, isn't it? That gap down the sides of Liverpool. Tsimikas totally commits himself. It leaves space for Zappacosta. He just picks out Scamacca. He could have picked out 2 or 3 actually, and this is terrible, terrible goalkeeping, I'm afraid, from Kelleher. He's barely put a foot wrong really since coming in for Alisson, but this is a horrible, horrible mistake. Scamacca doesn't hit it very well actually. Comes off his studs rather than the side of his foot. It bobbles towards Kelleher, and it just goes right underneath his body. It's poor goalkeeping, and it's a big bonus for Atalanta.
Well, Zappacosta had far too much room down this right-hand side. He picked out Scamacca, and Scamacca got his 12th goal. Now, it may well be that Kelleher should have done better, but defensively, that was poor from Liverpool in the first place.
But that's where I think teams do look at getting joy against Liverpool, is when one of the fullbacks is out of position or commits himself, as Tsimikas did there and was totally out of the game. That is then when you can try and flood the Liverpool defensive area. And that's exactly what Atalanta have done.
This happens far too often, though, to Liverpool, doesn't it? You know, this is now 1 clean sheet in their last 13 Anfield games. They've had to come from behind so often this season. Yes, they have done it. They've won 27 points from losing positions this season. But at some stage, that is going to bite you in the backside, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially against the absolute best. You know, you'd still have full confidence in Liverpool.
Kelleher's made a little mistake, and he's just invited a bit of pressure from Koopmeiners. It was played back to him, and he sort of hit him on the knees, and his first touch wasn't great, but his second one was better. And Konate now brings the ball out through the middle of the pitch, and Gomez now joins the attack. They're down the right side, playing the ball onto Harvey Elliott, who cuts in, left-footed, swirls across towards the back post. It's too heavy and goes behind, and it's out for a goal kick away to our left, and the Atalanta fans are going crazy behind the goal.
But what that does actually, Kelleher taking that risk, then when he is able to play it out, they then get through that half press from Atalanta, and all of a sudden Liverpool look a threat.
It's risk and reward stuff, isn't it? And the rewards are high if you do get through that press, because so many times already tonight Liverpool slalom their way through that Atalanta defence at relative ease, really. The issue they've had is that, again, when they've got to the edge of the box, they haven't really made the right decision, or they've had a chance and not converted it. It remains 1-0 to Atalanta. The goal coming after 38 minutes. Gianluca Scamacca's 12th goal of the season. Only managed 8 and 27 for West Ham. Did score against England in October, and I remember Jim Proudfoot was commentating on that game against Italy, and he said, where was this Scamacca during the West Ham spell? And certainly he has become a little bit more of a goal magnet since returning to his homeland.
Yeah, I think David Moyes might have had a little bit to do with that and the way that they play, and living up to Antonio's reputation of work takes some doing. He embarrasses a lot of strikers, Antonio, with the work he gets through.
What a touch from McAllister from deep inside his own half to release the ball to the right-hand side, and then Jones has asked a little bit too much by Harvey Elliott's ball, which was played inside the defender Hine, and Jones went cavalieering into the right channel but couldn't win it. Elliott's won it back from Scamacca. Now it's with Gomez on halfway. Endo turns it back to Canate. Liverpool behind here at Anfield, as they have been so often this season, but you always feel there's a comeback in them. Gakpo's just played the ball awry from inside his own half, and it hasn't been settled, and I think they do feel a little bit ruffled by that goal.
Yeah, absolutely. It does set you back. Of course it does. I think also then all of a sudden Tsimikas and Gomez just took in for a couple of minutes after that mistake. Then again, you know, the odd stray pass doesn't help things within the stadium. It gets on the supporters' nerves when simple passes are just played out of play.
Scamacca, who's big and strong and brutish, has just given away a free kick as he went to attack. It's a short pass by Endo. It's been pinched by Ruggieri, and he's now scampering away down the left side for Atalanta towards the byline. Produces a cross, blocked by McAllister. It's out for a corner in front of the Kop. And again, another misplaced pass, just unsettled that Liverpool back line, and immediately Atalanta pounced.
Caught right in the middle, wasn't he, Gomez, of whether to go and try and intercept, or whether just to get back into position. He did neither. Got caught out. Luckily, it wasn't Roberto Carlos on that side, and Ruggieri didn't quite have that turn of pace, did he? He was easily dealt with in the end.
He's not Roberto Carlos, but he does love getting up and down and producing crosses into the box. He's one of the best crosses of the ball in Serie A. Here is the corner in towards the near post. It's away by McAllister, headed out towards the halfway line, and then sent back by Darun all the way through to Ederson. Back out to the right-hand side. De Ketelaere trying to take it out of the air, couldn't control it. Rolls off the top of his boot and goes out for a throw-in on this near side. 1-0 to the away side. Atalanta against Liverpool in the quarterfinals of the Europa League. It's the first leg tonight, the second leg next Thursday, and an integral game for Jurgen Klopp and his team as they look to try to win 3 trophies this season. The League Cup already in the bag, the Premier League certainly still up for being contested, and this trophy as well, which they are big favourites for, it must be said. Here is Tsimikas sliding the ball again. He gives it straight to Pasalic in the middle of the park, and Ederson now clips the ball forward. It's a poor ball by him. It's over the top of Kopminer's head and through to the goalkeeper. Now they're encouraged to get forward, Liverpool, at pace as we go into the final minute of the first half. Live on TalkSport. Again, they give the ball away cheaply, and Scamacca has managed to squeeze it through to Kopminers, who's down the left side of the box, gets into the area, pulls it back to De Ketelaere, inside the area, tries to do a little back heel into the path of Pasalic. It didn't quite work out. It took a deflection. It was gobbled up by Kelleher, but the threat is there from Atalanta.
Oh, that was so close from De Ketelaere. Brilliant little bit of improvisation that nearly went through Endo's legs. If it had, it would have been perfect for the strike. It just deflected off Endo's shin and luckily went to safety. But once again, Scamacca just outmuscles Elliott and then gets Kopminers away. And you're right, there is that genuine threat when they do win the ball back because of that extra forward player that Gasperini has played tonight.
Liverpool's players want to give Jurgen Klopp the ultimate send-off. It's something that Harvey Elliott addressed yesterday in the press conference. A trophy to sweeten the path. The Europa League win in Dublin would do the trick. that is for sure. There is a long way to go between now and then. And they are behind. De Roon has won it back from Gomez on halfway. And Pasalic is forward again. And look at the space for Koopmeiners on the edge of the area. He's gone past the goalkeeper, who actually has got back and put his body on the line and thundered it away with his chest at the vital moment. It's a big save from Kelleher, a vital save on the stroke of half-time.
And you just wonder how big a moment that could actually be for Atalanta over the course of these two legs, because he's got so much time, Koopmeiners, to size this up, and he just allows Kelleher to come out, who gets out really quickly and gets out low. I think if that's on the left foot of Koopmeiners, I think he probably just takes this out of his feet and finishes. He didn't look comfortable on that right foot, and it's a let-off.
What a chance on the stroke of half-time. Liverpool unbeaten in 90 minutes in the last 13 matches in all competitions. They haven't lost here for over a year, but that record under threat thanks to the goal scored by Scamacca after 38 minutes. But Atalanta will be pretty cute. They'll know as well as anyone else that they may not escape Anfield, like many don't escape Anfield with victory. The Reds' powers of recovery are famous. They need them tonight. Big second half to come live on Talk Sport. It's Liverpool 0, Atalanta 1 at half-time.
So Atalanta winners at Anfield behind closed doors in 2021. They have shown no fear here tonight, playing in a third European quarter-final in 5 years, and they have the lead, much to the delight of the travelling Ledea supporters. However, up against one of the undoubted greats of European football, will Liverpool respond and show their class in the second half? It's going to be an important 45 minutes with you very, very shortly. Let's discuss that first period in the company of Dean Ashton, the former England striker, and I just have to compliment the tactical approach here from Gasperini, because at times we see a back three, at times we see a back four, at times a flat back five. Not only has he shored them up defensively, albeit there have been chances for Liverpool, you'd expect that, but there haven't been the raft of chances we've seen in some of their performances so far this season. But what he's also done is provide a threat at the other end, and it's only one. We're saying it's only one because it could easily have been three, given the quality of the chances they've had here tonight. What have you made of the leaders so far?
Yeah, look, I think you're right. I think the way he set his team up has been brave, because he's saying to his three centre-backs, every single one of you at times has to step out of your position and go and follow one of the forward players as they go deep to collect the ball. Now, they are the best team in Serie A, their interceptions, and what they've done, because of that strength that they have, is they've looked at this Liverpool side and realised if they can intercept, that there's space. There's always space down the sides of the two Liverpool centre-backs because of the way that Liverpool play, and the two full-backs get forward and are allowed to. It leaves that space then in that area. So what they have done, and because he's played an extra forward player, they've then got the quality when they win it back to just pierce through that Liverpool defence. It's a great, great opportunity for Koopmeiners at the end. He has, you know, in these sort of games, against this sort of opposition, you have to score. You have to score those opportunities. You know, I think you need 2-3 goal leads against a team like Liverpool, and that's just such a glorious chance.
I tend to agree with you. He dallied, he dithered over it for so long that Kelleher actually made the save right on the edge of the penalty area. He was able to come out so far, and really it should have been a one-touch and hit most probably. But yeah, you're right, on his right foot, he never looked comfortable at all. I've got to say, it's one of several very, very good chances in the game. Huge chance after just 3 minutes for Pasalic. Kelleher saving with his face. He redeemed himself just before half-time, and right at the start of the game, it was a very important save as well. Didn't know much about it, but really Atalanta will be kicking themselves there as well.
Yeah, again, you know, it's another one of 4 great chances for Atalanta. I mean, he does, and the keepers work so hard on this. I've watched them, and you've got to be so brave to take that straight in the mush from 3 yards. The power that we hit it with as players, honestly, it's superb goalkeeping from Kelleher. But it's a massive mistake for the goal. It's a terrible mistake for the goal, because Scamacca doesn't connect very well at all. He doesn't get much power on the strike. It comes off his studs, it bobbles towards the goalkeeper, it goes right underneath his body. He dives basically over the ball. So he'll be really, really disappointed that he's allowed that one to get past him. But Jurgen Klopp will be worried the threat that Atalanta posed, but at the same time, they've created their own chances and should have scored.
But that's because of the space that the fullbacks of Liverpool are leaving in behind, because that's where Scamacca's goal came from, a 12th of the season, 5 in his last 7 games, because he was picked out by Zappacosta, who went down the right. He also picked out De Ketelaere a little bit earlier on in the game when he did a back heel, 5 yards out, virtually middle of the goal. And it looked like he just wasn't aware. Virgil van Dijk, I think, had almost scared him off having a shot. But Van Dijk had dropped deep onto the line. He hadn't noticed. And actually, if he swiveled on his right foot, it was a brilliant chance.
It was. Look, it was a magnificent layoff. I've got, like, the flick to lay it off to Koopmeiners was outstanding. But it was the wrong decision. Like you said, he didn't have the awareness to know that the defender had dropped. And he could have just swiveled and taken the shot. I think him, Koopmeiners in particular, I think have been excellent when they've won the ball back. And they've just shown that bravery that not many teams do here at Anfield. I think it's been refreshing to watch. But at the same time, I think Jurgen Klopp will realise that there's chances to be had against this Atalanta team, and with who he's got on the bench, he'll I think still be very calm.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I'm sure the Liverpool fans screaming at the radio, what about us? Because there were some excellent chances. Probably the best one, although Alexis McAllister side-footed over the bar on just 5 minutes, was a very good opportunity. I think an even better one went to Darwin Núñez, played in by Curtis Jones, and he just went for that scooped lob finish that worked so well when he was set away against Brentford a few games back, and he finished beautifully. This time, didn't catch it at all.
No, again, when they come off, they look juicy, you know, they're just so good, aren't they? But, you know, when you're looking at percentages of what is more likely to go in, well, going round the goalkeeper, we don't see it enough anymore, going round goalkeepers from forwards. Núñez is rapid.
Yeah.
He's going to have the pace to get past the goalkeeper and just took it into an empty net. Or, as Henry used to do so well, is just that last second, just opening the body out, flicking it around the opposite side of the goalkeeper. Núñez went for the extravagant, and when it doesn't come off, then you're likely to take a bit of flack for it.
I was going to say, look, during that first half, there was a big round of applause when 5 players went out to warm up, and Sam outlined just what quality Liverpool have on the bench. Salah, Robertson, Jota, Diaz and Zoboszlai were down there getting the applause of their fans. Already we're seeing out here on the pitch at Anfield, with tracksuit bottoms now taken off, warm-up going on, Andrew Robertson is there, Dominic Zoboszlai is there, and Mo Salah look like they could be introduced at the break, so that would give Liverpool another gear, you'd have to say.
Just a bit, yeah, just a bit. I think as well, also, I think you can't underestimate what the fullbacks could possibly do. You know, Bradley, Robertson, Trent Alexander-Arnold are available as well. You know, Gomez isn't going to get forward the same way. Tsimikas has been in between, really, of getting forwards and defending. I think what Liverpool do so well usually is those fullbacks push the opposition so far back that it makes it difficult to then counter-attack sometimes against a Liverpool side. I'd expect changes pretty quickly if it doesn't change soon in that second half.
Okay, well, Dean, thank you very much. Liverpool behind at the break. It is Liverpool 0, Atalanta 1, thanks to Gianluca Scamacca's opening goal for the Travellers. Here in the Europa League tonight, over on TalkSport 2, another English side in action. West Ham away at Bayer Leverkusen, who could win the Bundesliga title with victory at the weekend. Goalless in that game on TalkSport 2. Roma lead AC Milan. The winner will face West Ham or Leverkusen. Benfica 1, Marseille 0 at the break, and the winner will face Liverpool or Atalanta. Let's get the latest from the Europa Conference League, where Aston Villa are in action. TalkSport's Abigail Davis.
Yeah, half-time, it's Aston Villa 1, Lille 0. Villa came into this one having won all 5 of their previous home matches in the Europa Conference League this season with an aggregate score of 12-2. It was the away side, though, who settled the quicker in this one, stringing some lovely passing moves together. Villa content for them to do so predominantly in their own half. But in quick succession against the run of play, Villa's star man had a few decent chances. The first from an outswinging corner from the left-hand side, finding its way to Konsa at the back post, who teed up the English striker Ollie Watkins. His effort was comfortably collected, but then from another corner, Ollie Watkins made no mistake, a header into the back of the net to give the home side the lead. At the other end of the pitch, Emi Martinez has been absolutely remarkable remarkable, pulled off some spectacular saves to deny a Lille side getting in behind with relative ease as Diakite and David were denied. Half-time though, it's Villa who lead here by a goal to nil.
Also at the break tonight in the Conference League, it's Club Brugge 1, PAOK Salonika 0, and it finished earlier on Olympiacos 3, Fenerbahce 2, and Victoria Pilsen 0, Fiorentina 0. Okay, let's get the half-time odds on TalkSport, all thanks to Ladbrokes.
Odds update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus BGamblerWare.org.
This one looks a difficult one to call. Liverpool to win is 8-5. The draw is 11-5, and Atalanta to win is also 8-5. Those are the half-time odds with Ladbrokes. It's 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Odds update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
So, a familiar story for those that follow the Reds. They have conceded the first goal on the evening. Live on TalkSport, the Europa League quarter-final first leg. It is Liverpool 0, Atalanta 1.
Kick-off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org. A man walks into a bar holding a cobblestone. He says to the bartender, "One for me and one for the road." Jokes aside, if you're planning a block paving project this summer, then you need to get down to Juicen. From single blocks to project packs, traditional CPP or contemporary granite effects, there's something to suit every project, budget and taste. Plus, we've got all the accessories and tools you need to get the job done right. Want more stock, more value and inspiration? Search Juicen Landscaping. Juicen, everything landscaping, all in one place. Terms and conditions apply.
The manager is subbing on the big man. And another change now. Rodgers comes on, the veteran right back. And now the third choice goalie enters the field. They can barely contain themselves here. With new Super Sub from Paddy Power, all subs are now super. Because if a player in your bet is subbed off, it carries over to the new player coming on. Paddy Power. Football, you gotta love it. Valid on selected leagues and markets only. Pre-match and in-play bets on qualifying player outcome selections only. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
The Masters, teeing off on now.
Now he's absolutely launched that.
Oh, now. Woods is in the woods.
Now that's just magic. Now that's a drive.
Oh, now he's just pulled that shot.
Oh, now is this the putt that wins him the green jacket? Now there it is.
Stream The Masters and all of Sky Sports without a contract. Head to nowtv.com.
Sky Sports content streamed via internet. 18 plus. Full terms apply.
Here they are, the racing lovers of the UK, phone in hand, ready to play the Coral Reward Shaker. Look at them shake. We've got the regulars at the racecourse shaking their phone with confidence. And look, they've won a free bet. Parents on a day out just happy to be here. They've got it too. An odds booster for them. Lovely stuff. Everyone's a winner. Play Coral's free reward shaker this Grand National Festival to win guaranteed daily rewards and offers. Coral, we're here for it.
18 plus UK. Max one reward or offer per player per day. Reward restrictions, requirements and T's and C's apply. Take time to think.
Join the nation in cinching it. Buy your perfect car online and get first-class assistance from start to finish. Your new car, madam, with friendly customer service available 7 days a week.
Hello, this is Cinch. How can I help you?
An expert walkthrough of your new car when it's delivered. And a faff-free 14-day money-back guarantee. Hardly surprising Cinch is rated excellent on Trustpilot. So join the nation in absolutely cinching it. Search Cinch and buy your next car today. Returns subject to mileage restrictions, T's and C's apply.
Not everything in golf makes sense, but buying pre-owned clubs does. We're GolfBidder, an official partner of the PGA that helped millions of golfers over the last 25 years find quality and affordable clubs to improve their game. So while you may not always trust your swing, you can trust our clubs. Golf is difficult. Buying great value pre-owned clubs isn't. This week, save even more with 15% off thousands of drivers at golfbidder.co.uk, the home of pre-owned clubs.
At Virgin Bet, we love weekends. And it's a good bet you'll love Virgin Bet's wonderful weekend football offer. New and existing customers get a free £5 bet when they put £10 on the football this weekend and every weekend of the season. You'll be loving your weekends even more now. Virgin Bet, a good bet. Singles and bet builders only. Excludes virtuals, boosts and specials. Minimum odds 1 to 2. Accepting 24 hours, used in 7 days. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. Bet responsibly. BeGambleAware.org.
Europa League live on TalkSport with Village Hotels. With 33 locations across the UK, Village Hotels have everything under one roof for a great breakaway.
It's the reason Mark Talk Sport.
Plays it to the edge of the area, it's into the net from Scamacca, who hits it right-footed from 10 yards out and converts a chance at last. Atalanta have had several opportunities, they finally scored one of them, and Scamacca has come back to haunt Liverpool. At West Ham he couldn't flourish, but with Atalanta he certainly is, and the Italian side are ahead at Anfield. It's Liverpool 0, Atalanta 1, and it's Gianluca Scamacca who scores.
You're listening to Kick-Off live on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. We play together, terms and conditions apply, it's 18+, begambleaware.org. Let's very quickly get an update from the Masters at Augusta, which teed off earlier today with Arnold Clark.
The Masters Update on Talk Sport with Arnold Clark. Sell your car with no admin fees. Any make or model.
Gabby Partington has the latest.
Yeah, thanks, you. Well, it's the American Bryson DeChambeau who leads the way at the top on 7 under. 3 straight birdies to open up his round, and to top it off, 2 straight birdies through the famous Amen corner. But what a start to the championship he's having. Just another round of golf, right? But there's a 3-way tie in second as it stands. Ben Arn joined by the Kiwi Ryan Fox, who also opened up with a birdie on 1, 2 and 3 in his second Masters appearance. Also 3 shots back is the 2016 Masters champion Danny Willett, who finished the day on a 4 under 68. Well, the favourite and world number 1 Scotty Scheffler's creeping up the leaderboard as expected on 2 under and fancies his chances of whacking on another green jacket one more time. Well, playing in the same group is world number 2 Rory McIlroy, who's had a bit of a rollercoaster start but settled in and managed to birdie before the turn and is all level. But all attention turns to the GOAT, the 5 times Master champion Tiger Woods, who's finally underway, teed off just this minute, launched his drive for hundreds of patrons with binoculars in hands to hopefully witness more greatness. Well, plenty more to come, but as it stands, Bryson DeChambeau leading the charge on 7 under.
Gabby, thank you. We're back underway at Anfield. Liverpool 0, Atalanta 1 in the first leg of the Europa League quarter-finals. The second 45 minutes with former England striker Dean Ashton and TalkSport Sam Matterface.
Liverpool weren't very good in the first half. They trailed by a goal to 0, and Jurgen Klopp has called for the emergency special teams. Szoboszlai, Salah and Robertson all on for Tsimikas, Jones and Elliott at the start of the second half, and Szoboszlai's already made an impact. Dean Ashton.
He has, driving down the right-hand side. Salah came short, Szoboszlai went in behind, tried to cut it back for Nunez, and good goalkeeping from Rousseau. But it's actually no surprise, that's what you should do as a manager if you're not happy with that first half, which...
Here comes Cup Miners inside the area looking for Pasalic. She's tucked away by McAllister just in case, and then Gomez leaves it for Canate, who hesitated and then eventually cleared up towards the halfway line. I'll run through the 2-11s for you in just a second because they're much altered, obviously, Liverpool as a result of that. But I wanted to ask you whether or not, so often this campaign, the reserves, the younger players have managed to get by for Liverpool. They've done the job when called upon, but tonight it didn't look right, didn't feel right in that first 45 minutes. The 6 changes that Jurgen Klopp made, did he take Atalanta a little bit lightly? Did he have too much faith in those who he started the game with?
Well, I think the fact that he's made a change at half-time, I think says that he did get it wrong. You know, I think that's him ultimately admitting that maybe he got it wrong and the players that he'd picked hadn't done the job properly in that first half. And they, I don't think they would have taken Atalanta lightly, but I think they've been quite surprised, I would expect, at just the bravery and the manner in which Atalanta have played and the seriousness of making sure that they still come away from Anfield with a positive result.
So it's 1-0 to Atalanta live on Talk Sport tonight. Kelleher is the Liverpool goalkeeper. Now Gomez, Canate, Van Dijk and Robertson the back 4. Endo, McAllister and Szoboszlai in midfield with Salah, Nunez and Gakpo as the 3-pronged attack. They're attacking the Kop away to our right-hand side, and Nunez had just put on the accelerators and tried to get to a loose ball which had run towards the edge of the 18-yard box, and it was cleared away. Now Szoboszlai's got it after it was half cleared. He shoots from distance, takes a deflection, the ball goes behind. It's away for a corner, and there's the Anfield roar.
I think by making those changes, it's what elite managers do. They don't care about how players feel. They do the thing that's right. It's giving the crowd a lift, seeing those players come out, and you would expect It's a big second half here from Liverpool.
Corner near side to be taken by the Hungarian Szoboszlai. He places the ball down edge of the quadrant. He's got 5 to aim at inside the penalty area. It's a deep one, probably too deep. It goes right the way through the box on the other side, and Robertson gets the chance to recycle it. His ball is heavy as well. Goes right through the penalty area, back to Szoboszlai on the other side, and we start again. Szoboszlai's third ball into the box is headed away by the retreating Ederson, and then it's clicked up by Gomez towards McAllister, who sees it back to his goalkeeper Kelleher away to our left. The Atalanta team is Musso at the back three of Hine, Jim City and Derone. Hine has gone into the books. Zappacosta is the right wing back, Ruggieri the left wing back, Pasalic and Ederson in the centre, with Koopmeiners and De Ketelaere behind Scamacca in attack. Scamacca, who scored the only goal of the game so far after 38 minutes from a Zappacosta cross down the right-hand side, getting in behind Tsimikas. Wouldn't be the only reason why Tsimikas was taken off at half-time, but certainly that would have played into Jurgen Klopp's thinking. And they've got a deficit to make up once again at Anfield, as they've done so many times. Their second half performances has far outweighed their first across the season. Late goals from 76 minutes on would have been unbelievable in terms of ratio. Over a third of the goals they've scored in matches in all competitions have come after the 76-minute mark.
Yeah, because they've got such strength with the squad that they're able to bring players on that will make a difference when the opposition start to tire, both physically and mentally. I mean, it must be difficult, I have to admit, for these managers to try and shuffle things around, especially with Jurgen Klopp. He's got players coming back from injury. Salah not long ago had a hamstring injury.
Nunez down by the byline trying to get the cross in. He might have just kept that in, and then Szoboszlai backing him up, can't fire it into the box because there's a block from Derone. Eventually it's cleared up to the halfway line. Canate shrugs away Scamacca, gets a big cheer from the crowd as a result of that. And 6 minutes into the second half, Liverpool have the ball once again. They've had a lot of the ball tonight, 67% possession to 33 from Atalanta. They've had only 6 attempts on goal, only one of them on target. Here's Robertson down the left-hand side, trying to influence proceedings in that regard. It goes out for a corner after a slide tackle from Ederson, stops him from getting the cross in, and it goes out of play over on the far side. 1-0 to Atalanta.
And what I mentioned at half-time with a fullback coming on such as Robertson, he's got so much quality and energy to get forwards, he automatically pins the opposition fullback in to stop that threat in behind him.
Here is the corner then, whipped in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and the header by Van Dijk is narrowly over the top of the crossbar. He got up beautifully and met it with the meat of his forehead, and it just went an inch or so over the top of the bar. Both him and Nunez were going towards the ball, and it was Van Dijk who got up there, but maybe just got a little bit over the ball there, and it flicked up off his head and went over the top of the crossbar.
Yeah, he just collapsed with his midriff. He just didn't stay tall. He's collapsed into it and dipped down, and it just meant that it came off the top of his head rather than the meat of the forehead. So used to just seeing him come onto those and power it into the net. Just collapsed slightly with his core stability.
I have to start working on that again. I'm sure he's really struggling for that. His rippling washboard stomach. 53 minutes gone, you're listening to TalkSport. I did say that as if I was really jealous, didn't I? It's probably because I am. Ball is out of play over on the far side, thrown in delicately towards the edge of the area, and was there a handball there by Endo? I think there might have been, right on the edge of the box, and VAR will check this to see exactly where the geography was. The ball was thrown in from the right-hand side. Endo's arm came out. Certainly it hit him. Was he inside the area or out of it? Just outside. Just outside. Good call from the refs.
Again, look, Endo knows nothing about it in terms of trying to actually throw his arm across to whack it away. I think he gets his arm across to try and just shield himself from the player, and unintentionally then strikes his arm.
I'm just checking the geography of the situation on the VAR monitors, but I do think from what I've seen so far that looks very much outside the box rather than in. But our Turkish VAR is just making sure. The referee seems to believe that it's all done and dusted, so there will be a free kick quickly taken. Pasalic left it. There's a bit of reshaping going on, and then Nunez will strike it straight into the near post and easily caught by the goalkeeper, who bowls it out immediately up to Gomez, and Liverpool turn defence into attack at rapid speed, as you would expect. That ball from Gomez though behind Nunez, who, as he slowed up to try and receive that ball, slipped, and the attack and the momentum just dissipated. Back with Van Dijk, who helps it on to McAllister. Liverpool come forward, there's a bit of space left side, and that's been exploited by Andy Robertson. Gakpo in a half position, about 10 yards back from the edge of the area, finds it to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai gets it back again, and then moves the ball forward into Gakpo, who drops deep, plays it back towards the edge of the centre circle. Van Dijk sweeps it wide, and Robertson has it left side. 10 minutes gone, second half, 1-0 to Atalanta. Here is Endo feeding Nunez down the left side, and Hein goes across, and then he wins it again in a tight position, comes back to Salah from Gakpo. Salah again, good save to his right by the goalkeeper Musso, who got up high towards the near post and pushed it behind and away for a corner. Chaos inside the box. Nunez did really well when the chance looked as if it had eluded him. He clawed it back, fed Gakpo, fed Salah. His shot was blocked, came back to Salah again, and then the save was pushed behind.
Terrific save in the end, because it came from behind defender Musso, parrying it wide.
Ball in towards the near post. It comes off the shoulder of Konate, and then it goes through into the goalkeeper's hands. And it's a good claim by Musso away to our right-hand side. They were just checking momentarily for a Liverpool penalty on that occasion. Check was over pretty quickly, and it was cleared away by the Atalanta goalkeeper. But another couple of flashes from Liverpool, a couple of opportunities that have, one of which had to be stopped by the big Italian goalkeeper. Offside playing up against the Kettler at the other end. It's going to be a free kick. Liverpool, who have had a habit of conceding, but it's definitely still a tough place to come this, and I think Atalanta will be mindful of it as we go into the final 35 minutes. Here is Gakpo down the left-hand side. Hein tries to get the better of him. Gakpo does brilliantly. Here's Nunez with a chance. He steered it over the top of the crossbar again. It was pulled back to the edge of the 6-yard area after Gakpo got the better of Hein. He set up Darwin Nunez, who leant back instead of over the ball and lifted it high over the top of the bar.
Well, that's twice now. Hein has got himself into a difficult position defensively. He's on a yellow card. He can't make a challenge. It was Darwin Nunez who kept the ball in last time. This time it's Gakpo that just shunts the ball the opposite side of the defender, plays it back to Nunez, and you're absolutely right. He's trying. I don't know whether he's trying to dink this over the keeper into the far post or strike it low. But ultimately, if you do lean back, it's so difficult to keep it down.
Szoboszlai rebounds the ball into the middle of the park, and Liverpool have it once again. Gakpo turns away from Ederson. It's played by McAllister to the far side. Robertson takes over. 57 minutes on the clock. Liverpool 0, Atalanta 1 on TalkSport. Gakpo accelerating forward, gets a push in the back, keeps his feet, feeds Joe Gomez. Gomez sends it out wide towards the left. It's in towards the edge of the 6-yard box again for Nunez from Salah. He tried to flick it behind him, and he was rather clumsy with his finish, and it bounced into the air, and it's an easy grab for the goalkeeper away to our right-hand side.
Just the intensity and the speed of the passing is so much better from Liverpool, and the quality of the first touch. There isn't the passes going astray so far in this second half.
Skamaka is coming forward here. De Ketelaere just managed to get away from Endo momentarily, but he's been forced back by a combination of the Japanese captain and Mo Salah to the halfway line. They've gone even further back now to their goalkeeper as they look to retreat here and just take a little bit of pressure off the back line, because it's been under constant waves of pressure in this second half since the introduction of those 3 substitutes. Atalanta's last visit to England saw them rout Everton across Stanley Park by 5-1 back in 2017. I was actually at that game. They are one of just 3 teams to have won at both Merseyside clubs in European competition. Did you know that? No. Do you know who the other 2 are?
To have won at both.
Ah, yes. A little quiz question for you, Dino.
Oh.
Right. Okay, have a little think about it. If you want to text us 81089. And Just 3 teams have won at both Merseyside clubs in European competition. Who are they? Atalanta is one, who are the other two? 81089 the text if you want to get involved. Here is Canate, deep inside his own half, trying to turn under pressure, has to stretch, gives the ball away. De Ketelaere was in the wrong position as the ball came back. The offside flag went up anyway. The free kick has been given. And Liverpool, who wanted to get it started, have been denied the opportunity to do so. Another change, Darwin Núñez. I think Jurgen Klopp, rather ruthlessly, has seen enough, and he's going to replace him with Luis Díaz, who'll go out to the left-hand side, and Gakpo will go through the middle. Núñez gets a standing ovation, well, a ripple of applause, let's say that, from the Liverpool supporters, because he certainly is very much appreciated for his effort, even if his quality has been lacking a little bit tonight.
Yeah, and supporters appreciate and recognise that. They know he's not trying to miss those chances, and they've got to stick by him. I think also it could partly be as a tactic to try and still keep players fresh.
Big games coming up for Liverpool, though. I think this week most people believe that it's a good week for the title chasers, all 3 of them at home. Crystal Palace away on Sunday at 2 o'clock. Here's a chance at the other end. The ball's played into the box towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Scamacca is there to finish it off, and Atalanta in behind the Liverpool defence again. Another right wing cross, another finished goal by Scamacca, and Atalanta lead by 2 goals to 0 on the hour mark at Anfield. What on earth happened? I thought he was offside initially. I think the Liverpool backline did too, but the goal's going to stand. It's 2-0 to the Italians.
Oh, you're absolutely right. They switch off. They think this is offside. And again, it comes down that right-hand side. Robertson, a bit like Simicast, sort of dives out of position. It's then fed down the right-hand side to De Ketelaere. I think it's Canate that keeps him on. Initially, it's then is Scamacca. Has he gone a little bit early? The ball was played across. And I have to say, the coolness of this finish from Scamacca on the half volley, left foot, side foot, into the back of the net. Terrific finish from the big Italian.
I have to say, he was in an offside position in an earlier part of the move. When the initial ball is played down the right-hand side, he's about a yard in front of the Liverpool backline, which is why I think everybody thought he was in an offside position when the cross came in. He wasn't, because the ball was received on the right-hand side prior to that, and De Ketelaere then swung it in. He was on an onside position. He swung the ball in, and by which time Canate had dropped, played him onside. He was there, and he finished it off beautifully. And Atalanta now have a 2-goal lead, and Liverpool have got a bit of a mountain to climb here, Dean.
Just a bit. I mean, again, you know, I talk about the way that the manager set up Gasperini to take advantage of those situations. When they came around, he's having the quality at the top end of the pitch. De Ketelaere doing brilliantly with the cross, and Scamacca, you're right, because he was offside, he's got that 3-yard head start, which means as long as he gets himself back onside, means that he's then got the time to finish without the pressure of a defender.
Minus down that right-hand side, he's in an offside position. There's been another goal down at Villa Park. TalkSport's Abby Davis.
Yeah, 58 minutes on the clock. It's now Aston Villa 2, Lille 0. They've created the best chances in this second half. Should have had a penalty when Ollie Watkins was barged off the ball in the area, but again, their second goal coming from a set piece, a corner taken short. Bailey actually loses his foot in as he squares the ball to McGinn on the edge of the area. His strike takes a huge deflection. Chevalier rooted to the spot as he watched the ball trickle into the bottom left corner. Villa lead 2 goals to 0, 58 gone.
Well, Atalanta lead 2 goals to 0 here at Anfield tonight. Liverpool behind and struggling to find their shooting boots again. Ball played to the edge of the area. It's collected by Gomez as Liverpool come on the attack in search of an equalising goal. Goal which has evaded them so far. They've had several big chances, 11 shots on goal, only 2 on target so far. Here is Robertson down the left side, pulls the ball through the 18-yard box, is helped clear by Ruggieri, and out for a throwing on the near touchline. And Liverpool are urgent now. They've got a bit of desperation about them because they know that coming back from 2 goals down in any match is difficult. It's not beyond them, but it is incredibly difficult at this stage of the competition to give an advantage to an away team like this. It's almost deadly, isn't it? There's not many teams that come back from a 2-0 deficit from
the first leg at home. Well, especially with Atalanta being so good at home. I feel for Canate, and I feel for defenders, to be honest, because of that rule change. Because what it does is, if you ask Canate would he do anything differently, he probably wouldn't, because he was in a great position to start with. But because of the way that offside rule works, Scamacca's ahead of him, so he can't get back and defend it properly.
Oh, here they come again. De Ketelaer's got the ball on the edge of the area, and he sped it out towards Koopmeiners, who could finish it here. He sent it wide. What a chance. It came across his body onto his left foot, and he's dragged it through the 6-yard box, and it's 4 yards wide of the post. That was a golden chance to finish off the tie.
De Ketelaer, that is just so superb, because he faked to pass it to the opposite side, reversed it to Koopmeiners, who on his favoured left foot has the time to size it up, and he snatches at it. Instead of striking through the ball, he hits the top of the ball, which so often just bobbles it and spins it wide. It's a terrible miss.
Well, whatever happens tonight, you'll be able to follow all the fallout on Trans-Europe Express on Sunday night, 9 o'clock. Andy Brass on Danny Kelly will review all the weekend action, of course, all the Europa League and Champions League ties as well. Ball into the box on the right side from Diaz to the edge of the area, and Szoboszlai back in towards the middle of the park. It's headed into the air by the retreating Pasalic. Gomez now on the attack. Liverpool trailing by 2 goals to 0 here, with just 25 minutes to go. Down the right towards the corner flag, the ball goes across, it's blocked by the defender, and it's out for a throw-in midway between the edge of the 18-yard box and the byline. And it's a Liverpool throw-in, which at this moment in time, in that area of the field, needs to be capitalised upon. They need to make sure they continue to try and probe this Atalanta defence, a defence that up until now has lived a bit of a charmed life, but also the way they've structured the team has kept Liverpool arm's length for most of it. Diaz, the human firework, drops, picks the ball up and then runs forward, sends it out towards Gomez, whose first touch just about is kept under control. Salah in a right wing position, through the legs of the defender. McAllister coming in behind Ederson, who gets in front of him and scoops it away. It's out for a throw-in. Gomez tells him to slow down, not rush it, get it out for him to take. Gomez waits for Szoboszlai to come forward and then sends it back to the Hungarian on the right side of the Liverpool midfield. 2-0 to Atalanta. Wow.
Well, also, it's not as if Jurgen Klopp hasn't made the changes to try and get back into this game. But again, still a long way to go. A lot of concentration needed for Atalanta.
Here is Szoboszlai down the right side, plays it against Pasalic. It goes out of play. I mentioned earlier it's an incredibly tough place to come. Only Manchester United, Arsenal and City have managed to avoid defeat in the previous 25 games that have been at Anfield this season. And United were very lucky. They conceded a huge number of shots in that match and didn't just somehow managed to come away with a 0-0 draw. Here is Robertson out towards the left side, collected now by Gakpo, gets to the edge of the area, right-footed ball into the box, is headed away, comes back to Endo, who nudges it into the path of Gomez, who slides it out wide. Szoboszlai into the path of Salah, who's in an offside position, and then goes behind, and it's going to be a free kick offside. Away to our right, and the momentum goes out of the Liverpool attack, and maybe the momentum has gone out of Aston Villa, Abby Davis.
Yeah, quite possibly. 63 minutes on the clock. It's now Aston Villa 2, Lille 1. It was a deep delivery into the area. Goodmanson completely unmarked at the back post. He kept his composure. A stunning finish to beat Emi Martinez. Martinez absolutely superb up to that point. There was nothing he could do. Not helped out by his back line at all there. It's Aston Villa 2, Lille 1, 64 gone.
Well, according to the Opta supercomputer, Liverpool had a 35.2% chance of winning the competition before tonight, a 57.8% chance of making the final before tonight, but I think their chances have been slightly hampered by tonight's display and the fact that they trail by 2 goals to 0. Here is Ruggieri down the left side for Atalanta, powering forward, does well enough to feed Scamacca, who's on a hat-trick, gets it back to the centre circle. Ederson combines well with De Ketelaer, and then out towards the wide right, and Zappacosta's cross into the box. He's aimed towards Koopmeiners, who rose up with Joe Gomez. Didn't get there, but the ball ran loose, and Pasalic got there before any red shirt. He was quickest to it, and Atalanta on the attack with Derone now, who's about 15 yards short of the penalty area left side. Sends it square to Jim Seaty. He goes wide to Zappacosta again, and then back it comes towards Ederson, and Atalanta quite content to see it back to their goalkeeper with 21.5 minutes to go, Dean Ashton.
But it's pretty obvious where they are the threat. They are just waiting to intercept and pounce on the space.
Gakpo picks it up as they make a loose pass, and Szoboszlai feeds the Dutchman after they turned it over. He's got it back again 6 yards short of the penalty area. Endo to the left where it's helped on by Van Dijk into the path of Robertson, and then back to Van Dijk again. Liverpool just biding their time here. Forward towards McAllister, spins away, tries to play it out wide right, but the route to Mo Salah was cut off by Martin de Roon. Scamacca then manages to escape a challenge from Konate and then play the ball out beautifully to Zappacosta over on the far side.
Strong boy, isn't he? Scamacca uses his body well to hold the ball up, but also got good feet as well. He's linked well, played a few dangerous passes before getting himself in the box.
Let's go back to Villa Park. Another development for Abby Davis.
Yeah, 66 minutes gone. Reprieve for Aston Villa and their back line because Gudmundsson's goal has been ruled out for offside. It's Aston Villa 2, Lille 0. It was a really, really close call. We don't get the benefit of seeing the lines on the screen that we have here, but it looked incredibly tight. I thought he was onside. He peeled away from his marker, completely free out on that left-hand side. So you would have thought he'd be able to maintain in line with Villa's back line, but it looked like he'd gone too early then because the decision has been made. The goal is chalked off and it remains Aston Villa 2, Lille 0, 66 on the clock.
Well, they're leading. West Ham against Bayer Leverkusen. Still 0-0 in Germany, which is a very good result for David Moyes and his team, if it stays like that.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I think that was a tough draw for Leverkusen.
Here is Diaz over on the left-hand side, trying to feed the ball into Salah, who took an extra touch on the edge of the D. Lost it momentarily, but Liverpool got it back with Gomez, who shoots right-footed. And it's well wide of goal. 254th senior appearance tonight, Joe Gomez, without a goal.
Yeah, I mean, the opportunity was there, took the snapshot on, but there is a reason why he hasn't scored, and that's because he hit part of the ground before the ball, so it ended up shanking it wide, and that has to be an area when you've got Bradley and Trent Alexander-Arnold on your bench, and Gomez is getting a lot of the ball. It has to be an area that Jurgen Klopp, I'm sure, will look at. Also, Jota, the slotter, is waiting to come on. He rarely misses a chance, does he?
Doesn't actually sound that pleasant, that, does it? I get what you're saying, but excellent gone. You're listening to Talk Sport, and he's only got one substitution left. You've gone now, haven't you? Here it is. Robertson up to Gakpo, holds off the attentions of Hine, and then it's collected on the right side by Jim Seaty, who's in a bit of a wrestling match with McAllister. It's not a great ball, is it? Again, and once again they've turned it over quickly, and De Ketelaere is escaping. Out to the wide right, Zappacosta does brilliantly to keep it in. McAllister goes across, wires into a challenge, and it's out of play for a throw-in.
Well, the position we're in, so high up in this stand, you get a great view tactically of the game, and you just can see it the minute that Liverpool lose the ball, those spaces that are there for Atalanta because of the amount of attacking players they have got on the pitch. You just can see that it would only take one pass to dissect the Liverpool defence.
Gakpo, who is penalised, and Diego Jota is warming up on this touchline. Started training again this week. He was pictured in training this week, and you just wonder whether or not they're protecting him ahead of the run-in, and whether they think it's necessary to use him. It looks as if he is going to get changed to at least be ready if called upon in the next few minutes. We've got 17 to go. Liverpool behind here. They haven't lost in this stadium since Real Madrid beat them 34 games ago. That was in the Champions League round of 16 last February. It was a chastening defeat as well, 5-2 the final scoreline, and this is a bit of a chastening defeat should this be the full-time scoreline, Dean Ashton.
Oh, it would. It'd be a fantastic result for Atalanta, and certainly not one that many would have expected. I thought they were capable of scoring here, no doubt. But if they were able to keep Liverpool out, that would be incredible.
De Ketelaere trying to get away from Van Dijk, not an easy thing to do. He stretches out his arm, pushes him away and says, no, thank you very much. And Kelleher sweeps up on the edge of the area and is urged forward to push the ball into Robertson. Robertson out to Gakpo, far touchline. He turns, moves infield, plays it back to McAllister. McAllister across to Konate. Liverpool's home record in this tournament pretty impressive. 25 home matches in the Europa League since they've only lost one of those, but they might be losing here. And Skamaka is away down the left-hand side again. Up, they've turned the ball over. He centres it, takes a deflection off Konate and goes into the arms of Kelleher and brings it away. Atalanta have only won one of their last 7 away matches across all competitions, but they're in front by 2 goals to nil here tonight. And Liverpool just not really playing with the requisite speed or penetration to get the better of their back line.
Well, really, that should have been another opportunity for Skamaka. Does he realise he's on a hat-trick? Ball was brilliantly played to him by Koopmeiners, who'd stolen it off Endo and played him in down the left-hand side. He just sort of dawdled over into it, Skamaka. I was thinking, go and attack this, get it out of your feet and take the strike on for your hat-trick.
Liverpool will be pretty pleased that he didn't. Jota is stripped and he is ready for action. A rescue act is incoming. He doesn't miss the chances that the others do. He is pretty deadly, pretty accurate, and they are taking no chances here. Endo off, Jota on. It means that that's the final change for Jurgen Klopp. And it's his first appearance since February's knee injury. He is available and ready to go, and they have Luis Diaz, Mo Salah, Diogo Jota, Cody Gakpo, McAllister and Szoboszlai all on the pitch now, and it's an assertive looking team. Immediately he turns the defender to Rome, gets into the area, and he goes down under pressure, and I think the referee's going to give a foul here, and I'm not sure that that's outside the area. The referee says free kick right on the edge. We'll have to see it again, but it's very close to being a penalty. It's just outside the area.
It is. The challenge is outside and Jota falls into the area, but the challenge between the legs is outside of the penalty area. Difficult decision for the referee, but he made it pretty quickly.
Yeah, and it's right on the chalk of the white line of the penalty area, down this right side. They've been allowed to pull the ball back just a little bit, and Robertson wants to swing this one into the box. Ruggieri has picked up a yellow card as a result of that challenge. Immediately, Jota has come off the bench to make an impact. Liverpool 0, Atalanta 2 on Talk Sport. And the free kick is incoming from Dominik Szoboszlai on this near side. He will maybe defer to Andy Robertson, but the two of them are standing over the ball. It's like a short corner in hockey. They both wait, look up, there's 6 to aim at inside the box. It is Szoboszlai who sends it far post, it's headed away, comes out of the box, and Gomez, who's encouraged to shoot, does, and again sends it right over the top of the bar. And Dean Ashton sort of leans back as if to say why. And I suppose you've got to look at it from an odds point of view. The expected goals for that particular scenario is very low when Joe Gomez is over the ball. Would it not have been better to hold it and then try and slip it in behind the defence for someone to run onto again?
Yes, and looking at Jurgen Klopp's reaction, I think he absolutely agrees with me. It's a ridiculous decision from Gomez when you've still got everybody in the penalty area. You can just recycle it wide, keep the pressure on. Like you said, the likelihood of him scoring, there's more chance of me growing hair back in the next 10 minutes than Gomez, I think, thrashing that into the top corner. So do the right thing. And what he's done is he's got caught up with the supporters shouting shoot because they are desperate for him to score. That's not the right thing to do.
Given away by Ruggieri, and now Diaz is scampering clear. He's fed the ball down the left channel. The ball is too heavy for Diogo Jota, and out comes the goalkeeper and slides towards the ball, picks it up, and he'll take his time over this. He'll get back to his feet eventually. It is Liverpool 0, Atalanta 2 in the Europa League, live on Talk Sport with Village Hotels. Visit villagehotels.com.
Haim, who's been yellow carded earlier in the first half. He's really composed himself after a couple of scary moments at the start of the second half. He's in the middle of that back three. He's marshalled it very well actually in this second half.
Title race is big this weekend. Here is Robertson, big gap to run into. Sends the ball to the far post. Salah is there. He's not going to miss. Offside flag has gone up though, and it may well stop Liverpool from getting back in the game. There will be a VAR check. There was a huge ocean of space for Robertson to run into in between left wing back and centre half. He galloped down the left side of the box. He exploited it and he saw Salah lurking at the far post. It's very tight, but I think he's just offside. He went a little bit early, Mo Salah.
He did. He was just anxious, wasn't he, to make sure that he was slightly ahead when that ball got played across from Robertson. Brilliant, brilliant underlapping run from Robertson. Jimsiti was out of position because he'd followed Gakpo. The space was there. He drove into it, Robertson. It was a great ball across as well to Salah, who'd just gone a bit earlier.
They did do a check to see whether or not the player was offside in the build-up to the goal. That check was over pretty quickly. Waved play on the referee. And we're underway. Well, there's a handball here against Alexis McAllister. A good 10 yards outside the box. I don't think he knew too much about it. Konate may or will have been the one who's been penalised, but actually it was McAllister who was arguing with the referee. Went up and it hit him on the arm. Well, he sort of hit his head, then his shoulder, then his arm. It was a little bit unfair, I think, to penalise him for that, since that's, I think you're not supposed to really be penalised when you head the ball onto your own arm.
Head, shoulders, knees and arm.
That was a little bit unnecessary, wasn't it? And the referee's blown the whistle, given a free kick in a dangerous position.
Again, Scamacca, difficult to handle. Great body position when that ball's coming up, making it difficult there for Konate.
That ball whipped in by Koopmeiners towards the far post, the header back across the face of goal, and Scamacca sends a header over the top of the crossbar from 4 yards out. That could have been a hat-trick.
Oh, it should have been. Jimsiti does brilliantly on that far side when the ball comes across. Rather than going for goal, he just helps it across. Scamacca's got 3 players round him, and just about they do enough to put him off the header, and he gets ahead of it. He's then stretching back, tries to keep it down, and just heads it over from 4 yards out. But I think that's actually good defending in terms of 3 players around him, pushing him and shoving him as he's trying to header.
Could that be the moment that spares Liverpool's blushes in the Europa League? Because a third goal there, the tie is certainly over. He's had a couple of big chances to further the Atalanta lead as Liverpool in desperation chasing down this 2-goal deficit, leaving themselves a little bit vulnerable at the back. They have conceded further chances to the Italians, but it remains just the 2-0. And 2-0 is strikeable for a team like Liverpool. Even if they haven't been at their best tonight, they know that they can go and cause damage in Italy. They won't be favourites, not anymore, but they still have a chance. It's maybe an outside chance, a much smaller opportunity than they had at the beginning of this game. And with players like Jota coming back and Salah available from the start, Trent Alexander-Arnold back in the fold. I hope that they can turn it round will be great amongst that Liverpool support that travel to Bergamo in a week's time, and the commentary will be live on TalkSport from the quarterfinals of this Europa League. Here's Szoboszlai just left of the centre circle. Back it goes to Van Dijk, into Szoboszlai again. He moves forward into the edge of the halfway line. He's given the ball away to Scamacca with a poor pass, and then there was an opportunity to get it to Pasalic, and then it runs through to Ederson, who's inside the box. This to finish it, comes back to Pasalic. It's in, it's 3-0, and Liverpool are in massive trouble in the Europa League. Pasalic provided the finishing touch. It was another mess at the back for Liverpool. Scamacca got away after a mistake by Szoboszlai, and when the ball ended up in the middle of the 6-yard box, the first effort was saved from Koopmeiners off Kelleher. It came back to Pasalic, and he was not going to miss. And these opportunities that Atalanta have racked up have been ruthlessly taken, and Liverpool are finding themselves with a mountain to climb
to stay in the Europa League. It's a stunning performance from Atalanta, who have come here and they have snatched what looks like now a certain place in the semi-finals, and barring a miracle come back in a week's time, Liverpool are going to be out of the competition before they've really got into the business end.
Well, who expected this scoreline at Anfield? But they've stolen another goal, they've stolen the ball off Szoboszlai, driven at the Liverpool defence once again. Scamacca fakes to shoot, lovely reverse pass into Ederson, and they just took a deflection as Gakpo just comes ahead now.
Here's Robertson into the box, tries to chip it over the goalkeeper, it's cleared off the line by Ruggieri. And now he's away again, Scamacca, moving at pace, sending the ball down the left-hand side. Picked up by Kottmeiers, 85 on the clock. The ball down the left-hand side, Liverpool on the attack. And it's picked up by Konate, and it's cleared away by Liverpool. Diaz misplaces a pass. Leverkusen go in front against West Ham on TalkSport 2. Here is Gakpo out to the far side. Robertson takes it on. Diaz has got it now. What a couple of big mistakes. Here's Diaz from the edge of the area. His shot's parried away by the goalkeeper who dives to his left. Desperation, urgency about Liverpool. They must get something in the final 5 minutes if they've got any hope of trying to turn this tie around in a week's time, Dean Ashton.
Oh, absolutely, you'd think. It's an incredible result so far for Atalanta. Tactically, he's got it absolutely spot on. Gasperini, he said he wanted to come here and enjoy this atmosphere. Well, it's his own supporters that he's enjoying here.
Well, the noise from our left-hand side and those blue-shirted Atalanta supporters is vibrant. They know that victory is just literally minutes away now. It's not an insurmountable scoreline. Liverpool have pulled off stunning comebacks before. But in Bergamo, against an Atalanta team that are very good at home and are a very well-organised side, it is going to be incredibly tricky. And what it does do, Dean, is it causes Liverpool pain. It disrupts their rhythm. It highlights their flaws ahead of what is a very tight title race as well.
Oh, it does. It does. And, you know, it might have just been the perfect timing for Atalanta. With the result of the weekend against Manchester United, players coming back from injury and in and around the squad, and a couple of changes needed because of the schedule, and they've just taken full advantage. They've been really, really ruthless when it's come to those counter-attacks. When they've won it, they have got white shirts forward against that Liverpool defence. There's not many teams that come here and do that.
Well, they had only lost one of their last 25 matches in the Europa League before tonight. Their last defeat in this competition at Anfield was 12 years ago. Atalanta have suffered in their last 2 ties at this level. Maybe it's going to be a third time lucky for them. And if you were wondering, the other 2 teams that have managed to beat Everton and Liverpool in European competition at their home grounds, it was Benfica and Lyon.
Yeah, wouldn't have got it.
Never would have got it, would you? Never.
Nope.
Wonder if anyone did. I'm sure there's too many Liverpool fans who are interested in that tonight. They're interested in this scoreline, and the fallout on the sports bar is going to be rather fascinating. 03717 2233 44 is the number to call if you want to get through to the boys. Taking your calls as soon as we finished here. Here is Cody Gakpo running through the centre circle, trying to release the ball down the left-hand side. 2.5 to go. It's the Atalanta fans that you can hear away to our left. Leverkusen leading West Ham by a goal to 0. Atalanta beating Liverpool 3-0 at Anfield tonight. This is a stunning result. Atalanta, who have won only one of their last 7 away matches across all competitions. And the only light on the English
bluish horizon tonight has come at Villa. Abby Davis.
Yeah, 84 minutes on the clock. It is now Aston Villa 2, Lille 1. It was an in-swinging corner from the left, met at the near post by Diakite, whose glancing header ended up in the bottom right-hand corner. 6 minutes for Aston Villa to cling on to this lead, to have an advantage going into the second leg. Villa 2, Lille 1, 84 gone.
A couple of changes incoming. Atalanta going to make the first of their changes, and it's going to be De Ketelaere, who's just come back from an injury himself, actually, who's going to be replaced by Moranchuk, who was so good in the previous round of this competition. He's coming on for De Ketelaere.
Yeah, he was excellent as well in an away game against Napoli. Moranchuk, very different player, that's for sure. De Ketelaere, he's been outstanding as well, by the way.
He really has, and he's pushing to try and get into the team because of Moranchuk and Koopmeiners being so useful. De Ketelaere has a struggle getting in the first team week to week. He's certainly influenced the play tonight, that is for sure. Mistake by Canate, almost gave it straight to Moranchuk, but Liverpool bring it away. We're into the final minute of the 90, and it's 3-0 to Atalanta on what is a stunning night at Anfield. And as much as that Real Madrid defeat hurt a year or so ago, this one will hurt, I think, even more. Real Madrid beating you in the Champions League last 16, it hurts, but you can understand it. Liverpool losing 3-0 at home in the Europa League quarterfinals to Atalanta, that has a different sting about it.
Oh, it does. It absolutely does. Especially when you're heavy favourites here at Anfield. But again, you know, if you don't take your chances at this level, these sides can hurt you.
3 minutes of added time. Diaz picks it up edge of the area, sends it square. Gomez, who's urged not to shoot this time, feeds the ball to Szoboszlai instead, who shoots it down the throat of the goalkeeper. He should have done better with that.
Yeah, he should. It was a really good pass from Gomez. He made the right decision this time into Szoboszlai. Maybe the ball was just a little bit too straight. He hadn't got it out of his feet properly. But still, should be looking either side of the goalkeeper.
Gomez again, moving the ball forward. Diaz takes it over. He's 5 yards outside the box. There's a slip in front of him, but he sends it square onto Robertson. Now on the outside is Gakpo, left side, produces a cross. Jota is there with a header. He's leaning backwards, a bit too high for him, and he went wide of the goal, away to our right. Maybe that's the last chance gone. There are 3 minutes of added time. We played 30 seconds of those. Manchester City go first in the title race this week, live on the network. Will be round the ground Saturday 3 p.m. Sunday, we've got the Sunday session. Liverpool welcome Palace and Arsenal entertain Aston Villa. Arguably that Arsenal have the most difficult tie of the weekend. Everything will be covered on TalkSport, but Liverpool will hope that there's no hangover.
So again, they'll have to move on very, very quickly from this game. Can they just steal one here at the end?
Diaz with Gakpo to his left. Diaz again, didn't give it back to him in time. There was the opportunity to do so, and it's been the decision-making tonight that has let Liverpool down.
Yeah, it has. It has, because they've got the players on the pitch, but again, you know, people will say those chances. Nunez in the first half, they were unlucky with Elliott hitting the crossbar and post. Salah with a half chance, but they haven't created loads in this second half.
This might be the most significant defeat of the season for Jurgen Klopp and his team. 2-0 to Leverkusen in Germany. It's not going very well for the Europa League teams tonight from the Premier League. Aston Villa holding on to an advantage. Leverkusen beating West Ham 2-0. Here, Liverpool under the cosh, under the pump, 3-0. To Atalanta. Into the box they come, Liverpool. Maybe one last chance from a corner. They've got a deflection.
Well, can the captain, Virgil van Dijk, step up and head them a lifeline?
Here is the corner to be taken by Andy Robertson. Far side, the left. Anfield starting to empty as the ball goes in towards Van Dijk, who heads it into the air. It drops inside the box. No one takes charge. Canate is there too. Eventually it's cleared by the Atalanta defence. We've played 92 minutes and 35 seconds on TalkSport.
Here is Szoboszlai, weaving his way into a shooting position, sends it over the top of the defence instead, taken down by Jota. He then brings it on, edge of the box is Diaz, good little touch, then tries to weave his way in field, but he gets involved in traffic. They almost get it cleared, then do get it clear, and then it's run up towards the halfway line, and Kelleher has to come out quickly to ensure that there's no further problems. The referee is going to stop the game here. He looks as if he's going to blow the full-time whistle. There it is. It's victory for Atalanta. Atalanta send a shiver down the Anfield spine. Their players drop to the floor. They look to the heavens. They know that this is a fabulous and significant victory. It's a huge victory. It's a good job that Liverpool have recent history with Atalanta at their place, because otherwise this result might send a few into absolute panic. The big favourites for the Europa League have lost the first leg of the quarter-final, and not just lost it, they've been thrashed 3-0 at home, their first defeat in over a year in this stadium. Whether it goes down to team selection, shot selection, decision-making of any kind, this is a stinger of a result. It's the first defeat at Anfield since Real Madrid came here and beat them. But it is a massive, massive defeat which Liverpool are going to struggle to overturn in a week's time in Bergamo. Goals from Scamacca twice and Pasalic with 7 minutes to go have really put Jurgen Klopp's team to the sword. They made 6 changes tonight. It didn't work. They've been beaten at home by 3 goals to 0.
Nobody expected this. The overwhelming favourites for the Europa League have been outclassed at home. There were no flags in the Cop End tonight. It was a protest against season ticket price increases, and after tonight's performance they'll be asking for a price reduction. What a night for Ledea. The team known as the Goddess are in absolute heaven. Jurgen Klopp was meant to be leaving Liverpool with a trophy in his hands, but after the disappointment at Old Trafford at the weekend and an abject result tonight, he could be departing Anfield with his tail between his legs. Incredible. Dean Ashton, what do you make of that?
I'm shocked, because you just don't expect that sort of performance, especially here at Anfield from Liverpool, where it never even felt as if there was that genuine feeling that they were going to score towards the end. Normally you're expecting a rip-roar shots going in at the opposition. There wasn't that. Too many times, like Sam said, the decision-making was poor. Is that down to fatigue? Is that down to, player selection, or even, players coming back from injury? It does take you a few games, a few weeks to get back into your stride and get your quality back. Either way, let's give a lot of praise to Gasparino and this Atalanta team, because he got it spot on in the way they've set up. They've been brave in the way that when they have won the ball back, the amount of players that they've got forward, they've sensed the weaknesses in the Liverpool side down the sides, and they took full advantage of it.
And at this point in time, Atalanta's players celebrating in front of the Nerazzurri, their fans in black and blue, who have come here to Anfield, where they won back in 2020 in front of nobody because of the closed doors due to COVID. Now they can celebrate the moment. Now they can soak it in. I've got to say, it wasn't a usual Liverpool tonight. It wasn't a usual Anfield tonight. And as you mentioned, Dean, you never got that sense in the closing stages that the late show that they've had so often Liverpool was going to come. I don't know what to blame it on this evening. You mentioned the changes, but when you look at the carelessness with which Liverpool gave the ball away for the goals, you think about the concentration being completely absent, sleeping for the second goal for Scamacca, by the way. Wonderful finish. West Ham fans will be wondering, where on earth was this guy at the London Stadium? Because the second goal was a side foot with the left foot, his bad foot, on the half volley as he runs through on goal, and he had ice in his veins to make it 2. But then the third goal, given away cheaply, possession by Szoboszlai this time, once again. And the numbers forward and the ease with which the runs were made from midfield, the passes were found, and the shots were got off at Kelleher is something that Jurgen Klopp surely has to address. They've if you like, run the risk far too often in their games this season, and tonight they were punished for it.
They were, but you expect them still to score goals. You expect, you know, if Atalanta were going to win this game, it was going to be a 3-2 or a 2-1. You didn't expect this scoreline. I certainly didn't, because they carry such a threat, Liverpool. And they were so disappointing, especially in the second half, not to create any golden opportunities. And Musa made a couple of decent saves, but nothing where he was properly stretched in that second half. I'll be fascinated to see what Jurgen Klopp says after the game, or whether he bats it away. But also, looking at this Atalanta team and the way they're celebrating in front of their away fans, and rightly so, they should do, I actually think we will see a very different Liverpool starting lineup next week. I would expect Trent Alexander-Arnold to be back involved. I would expect possibly Alisson to be back involved. This isn't over. This is definitely not a Liverpool are done, as some teams might be. This leaves it open for something quite special, which we've seen from Liverpool.
Yeah, it absolutely does, and I agree with that. However, I do also believe that this has a stunning effect on the rest of the season for Liverpool, because what it does is it forces them to go there and give absolutely everything in a week's time. And they are in the midst of a title battle too. The Premier League is the one they say that they want over everything, and Jurgen Klopp's got a big balancing act to do now. He got that balancing act wrong tonight, and Atalanta took full advantage. I think Dean's absolutely right. The credit's got to go to the manager Gianpiero Gasperini, who has done an absolutely brilliant job here over 8 years of stewarding Atalanta. And it's absolutely right that those Atalanta fans have their moment in the sun. They are celebrating this victory with gusto away to our left-hand side, and they deserve it. They were tactically spot on. They took advantage of the gaps in the weak Liverpool defence, and it has been weak. They've conceded far too many goals here. They could have scored more. Yeah. And there could have been a greater margin of victory. And if they do have any disappointment tonight, it will be that they didn't get more goals.
They are lapping it up. Their fans are absolutely enjoying every moment, and you'd still make them favourites, albeit, Dean, you're absolutely right. Just about anything can happen in that second leg, but it places, as you rightly point out, Sam, huge pressure on their other fixtures. Liverpool go to host Crystal Palace here on Sunday afternoon. Their fans shudder at the thought of Crystal Palace when it comes to a title race. Away at Atalanta, as we know, next Thursday. They are then away at Fulham on the Sunday straight after that. But maybe the energy will go out of them when they head to Goodison Park just a few days later for the Merseyside derby, because that is a fixture in which the opposition, fighting for their lives at the bottom of the table, will be giving absolutely everything. You know, at this point in time, people would maybe shudder at playing teams at the top of the table, but that's something they're going to have to contend with. All teams are going to have to contend with in the run-in, teams fighting for every single point. Can they get through that period unscathed?
Well, I think what this will do is, and Sam's right, it feels like a pivotal moment and result for Liverpool's season. Will they wilt away? Will it really affect them, or will it actually supercharge them into an incredible end to the season? And I'm pretty sure that's how Jurgen Klopp will try and spin it, that this team are capable, which is why I wouldn't rule out at all them coming back in the second leg. They're capable of special things. It didn't happen tonight.
They are capable of special things, and we've seen that before. But I don't think that this result is one that hasn't been coming. We have seen over the course of the last few weeks some mistakes, especially going forward from Liverpool. The pace of their relentless march towards the top of the table was just slowed slightly. They've missed far too many chances. Yes, they've had injuries which have definitely caused them an issue, and I think sometimes there is that little bit of a sense now that as we've gone into the last few weeks of the season, and I just wonder, I think I raised it a couple of games ago actually, that instead of there being this sort of galvanising effect that's been brought about by the departure of Jurgen Klopp, there's also, and maybe we're seeing evidence of this now, a little bit of fear and tension and anxiety that's crept into the team, because they know just how big that perfect send-off would be.
Huge chances tonight for both sides. It could have been more. Liverpool, I guess, will cling to the fact that they had a goal ruled out just offside when Mo Salah really should have kept himself on. They also hit the bar and the post through Harvey Elliott in the first half. Darwin Núñez really should have scored as well, but it wasn't the dominant chance-creating Liverpool that we have seen so often throughout the course of this season. Defensively, they were way off it. You can react tonight to Liverpool 0, Atalanta 3 here on TalkSport. Give us a call. Sports Bar on the way. 03717 22 3344. West Ham fans, we also want to hear from you. It finished Bayer Leverkusen 2, West Ham 0 over on TalkSport 2. Leverkusen's unbeaten run now up to 42 games. Hoffman and Boniface with the goals. AC Milan 0, Roma 1, Benfica 2, Marseille 1. In the Europa Conference League, there was a big result at Villa Park. Let's get the details from TalkSport's Abigail Davis.
Yeah, finished Aston Villa 2, Lille 1. Unai Emery's side maintain their perfect record at home this season in the Europa Conference. They've won all 6 here at Villa Park and have a slender lead heading into the second leg of this quarter-final. In the first 45, Lille saw a lot of the ball, found it so easy to get in behind the Villa back line, but were denied time and time again by a sublime Emi Martinez performance. Villa broke the deadlock from a corner. The ball was played into Watkins, whose downward header found the back of the net. Slightly fortunate to go in ahead at the break, but started the second half on the front foot, creating chances aplenty. Watkins could have been awarded a penalty when he was barged off the ball inside the area. Leon Bailey also had an attempt saved after a stonking back heel assist from Watkins, but the second did eventually come again from a set piece. A corner taken short, Bailey losing his footing as he squared the ball to McGinn on the edge of the area. His strike taking a huge deflection before nestling into the bottom left corner. Lille thought they'd halved the deficit. Gudmundsson's goal ruled out eventually for offside. It was close, but the right decision made. They eventually pulled one back 6 minutes from time. The third goal of the match, the third from a corner. A glancing header from Diakite. Villa's back line will certainly need to be better next week, but for now, it's they who have the advantage. Full time, it's Villa 2, Lille 1.
Well, I should say, elsewhere tonight in the Conference League, goalless between Victoria Pilsen and Fiorentina. Finished Club Brugge 1, PAOK Thessaloniki 0, and Olympiacos 3, Fenerbahce 2. If you keep conceding and you keep conceding first, eventually you're going to get stung. That's exactly what happened at Anfield tonight. There was no late show for Jurgen Klopp's side. 6 changes made to the lineup, and for the first time this season in the Europa League, the replacements weren't able to live up to the reputation of the A-team. Goals either side of half-time from the former West Ham man Skamaka. Pasalic put the icing on the cake. It means Liverpool's 33-match unbeaten run at home has come to an end. Defeat for West Ham at Bayer Leverkusen, a win at Villa Park in the Conference League. Have your say on Sports Bar. 03717 22 3344. We'll have all 3 second legs live next Thursday on the TalkSport network, but there's a mountain to climb away in northern Italy next week because it's finished Liverpool 0, Atalanta 3.
Kick-off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18+ BGambleAware.org.
Hello, Tom Skinner here. Literally to drill through the clutter with some fantastic birthday news from DeWalt. To celebrate an amazing 100 years of the cutting edge of power tools, DeWalt have launched their most compact 18-volt XR hammer drill ever, the limited edition DCD100. It's certainly got bags of wallop, the new DeWalt DCD100. It's great, it's compact, and it's got up to 68 Newton meters of torque. In fact, DeWalt are so excited about innovating for a century, they're giving away 100 birthday prizes, including power tools, and even this here, brand spanking new full range of Wild Track pickup. To enter, buy a DCD100 drill kit from any UK DeWalt retailer before the 12th of June and register online. Easy. The new limited edition DeWalt DCD100 hammer drill. Tough, rugged, and one of a kind. Like me. 18+, see DeWalt.co.uk for terms and conditions.
The manager is subbing on the big man. And another change now. Rodgers comes on, the veteran right back. And now the third choice goalie enters the field. They can barely contain themselves here. With new Super Sub from Paddy Power, all subs are now super. Because if a player in your bet is subbed off, it carries over to the new player coming on. Paddy Power, Football, you gotta love it. Valid on selected leagues and markets only. Pre-match and in-play bets on qualifying player outcome selections only. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus BeGambleAware.org.
The Masters, teeing off on now.
Now he's absolutely launched that.
Oh, now. Woods is in the woods. Now that's just magic. Now that's a drive.
Oh, now he's just pulled that shot.
Oh, now is this the putt that wins him the green jacket? Now there it is.
Stream the Masters and all of Sky Sports without a contract. Head to nowtv.com.
Sky Sports content streamed via internet. 18 plus. Full terms apply.
There will be 14 minutes of extra time. With Betfair's 90-minute payout, you don't have to wait for the final whistle to celebrate, because your winning bet will be paid out in full at 90 minutes. Betfair. Applies to match odds, 90 market or markets with a 90 icon. Sportsbook exclusive. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus BeGambleAware.org.
Half-term traffic, dentist appointment, visiting the in-laws. With Mazda, electrify even the most challenging trips. The all-electric Mazda MX-30 is available to finance for £199 per month, with 0% APR representative and a £6,000 deposit contribution. Electrify the everyday. Search Mazda MX-30. Mazda Financial Services, PCP over 48 months, deposit of 4677, optional final payment of 7965. Indemnities may be required.
Here they are, the racing lovers of the UK, phone in hand, ready to play the Coral Reward Shaker. Look at them shake. We've got the regulars at the racecourse shaking their phone with confidence. And look, they've won a free bet. Parents on a day out just happy to be here. They've got it too. An odds booster for them. Lovely stuff. Everyone's a winner. Play Coral's free reward shaker this Grand National Festival to win guaranteed daily rewards and offers. Coral, we're here for it.
18 plus UK. Max one reward or offer per player per day. Reward restrictions, requirements and T's and C's apply. Take time to think. Europa League live on TalkSport with Village Hotels. With 33 locations across the UK, Village Hotels have everything under one roof for a great breakaway.
Online, on your smart speaker, on DAB, on the app, and on the money.
Over 50 days of live football across April.
This is TalkSport.
Talk Sport.
A huge night on the sports bar coming up with me, Jamie Horan, Jason Cundy. Get your calls in. Has anyone seen Is Coming Your Way 03 717 22 3344. But let's get news and sport headlines now with Mark Tyler.
Thanks, Jamie. Good evening. We certainly didn't see this one coming. The biggest of shocks in the Europa League at Anfield tonight. Liverpool losing their quarter-final first leg to Atalanta 3-0.
He's given the ball away to Skamaka with a poor pass, and then there was an opportunity to get it to Pasalic, and then it ran through to Ederson, who's inside the box. This to finish it, comes back to Pasalic. It's in. It's 3-0, and Liverpool are in massive trouble in the Europa League. It was another mess at the back for Liverpool.
More reaction to come from Anfield and from Germany, where West Ham conceded 2 late goals in their first leg against the runaway Bundesliga leaders Bayer Leverkusen. In the Conference League, goals from Ollie Watkins and John McGinn helped Aston Villa to a 2-1 first leg win against Lille. Stand by for a very lively sports bar. Manchester United defender Rafael Varane has been ruled out for the next few weeks with injury. Fellow centre-back Johnny Evans will also miss Saturday's match at Bournemouth. VAR offside check should be considerably shorter next season. The Premier League has voted to introduce the same semi-automated technology used in the Champions League. Joel Linton has signed a long-term agreement to stay at Newcastle, and Sheffield United will start next season on -2 points if they get relegated. They'll receive the penalty next time they're in the Championship because of late transfer payments to other clubs. England's Danny Willett has enjoyed a strong start at the Masters. The 2016 champion finished his first round 4 under par at Augusta. Play started 2.5 hours late due to stormy weather. Tiger Woods and Tommy Fleetwood have only teed off in the last hour or so and will have to complete their first rounds tomorrow. The early leader is Bryson DeChambeau, who carded a 7-under round of 65. And two-time Formula One world champion Fernando Alonso has signed a new deal to stay with Aston Martin until 2026. There's more at TalkSport.com.
Talk Sport. News.
sports. O.J. Simpson, the former American football star who was controversially cleared of murder, has died at the age of 76. And animal poo is going to fuel passenger planes. Wizz Air will use more than 500,000 tonnes of the biofuel.
TalkSport weather with QuickFit. Add a sprint to your step with 10% off 2 or more Bridgestone Turanza all-season 6 tyres and claim a free night away for 2. Book today at quickfit.com. Conditions apply.
Rather cloudy with patchy rain in the north tomorrow. England and Wales mostly dry with warm sunshine.
On 1089 and 1053 medium wave, on DAB, online and on your smart speaker. The Sports Bar on TalkSport.
All right, fans, here we go with the main event of the evening.
Good evening and welcome to the Sports Bar on TalkSport. I'm your host, Jamie Hart, and I'm joined by Jason Cundy.
Has anyone seen Liverpool? Can you hear me clubbing? Your voice on one hell of a meeting. Beatles, 100% Mo. Aintree, moaning Mo. Can you hear me moaning? Can you hear me moaning? Your voice on one hell of a meeting. The Cavern, Jamaica. And Sonia, Jamie Carragher, the Liver Bird, the Liver Bird, the Liver Bird. Your voice on one hell of a meeting. Jimmy Tarbuck, Albert Dock, Strawberry Field, Liverpool won, no you lost, Liverpool won, no you lost, Liverpool won, no you lost, Liverpool won, can you hear me Strawberry Field, you're going to win, hell of a meeting, the Echo Arena, the Echo Arena, the Echo Arena, the Echo Arena, Virgil van Dijk, Salah, Ferry Cross the Mersey, Jurgen Klopp, can you hear me Kloppy, can you hear me Kloppy, at Anfield, you're going to win, hell of a meeting.
Something wrong with you. Oh, Liverpool, an absolute disaster class from you tonight. What went wrong? You're miles off it. 3-0 down. Can you get back in it? I can't see that happening. 0-3, 717 22 33 44. West Ham, they nearly held on to against Leverkusen to 2 late goals. Absolutely kills them. Loads to go at this evening. Please get involved. And Villa, they beat Lille. 2-1 scoreline, enough to take them to France next week. Get involved in the show, 0-3 717 22 33 44.
When you walk through a storm.
Plays it to the edge of the area, it's into the net from Skamaka, who hits it right-footed from 10 yards out and converts a chance at last. At 2 o'clock, here's a chance at the other end, the ball's played into the box, towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Skamaka is there to finish it off, and Atalanta lead by 2 goals to 0 on the hour mark at Anfield. What on earth happened? Sends the ball to the far post. Salah is there! He's not going to miss. Offside flag has gone up though, and it may well stop Liverpool from getting back in the game. And then it runs through to Edison, who's inside the box. This to finish it, comes back to Pasalic. It's in, it's 3-0. And Liverpool are in massive trouble in the Europa League. Barring a miracle comeback in a week's time, Liverpool are going to be out of the competition before they've really got into the business end.
Sorry, Liverpool fans.
No, not at all.
Sorry.
No, you've
got nothing to do with that, mate.
No.
Nothing to do with that at all.
I've got my fingerprints all over it.
Oh, Jace, what a night. What happened? Liverpool Football Club in the mud. I've not seen that for a long time.
That's the worst they played all season.
They were awful.
All over the pitch. You can't even just point the finger in one direction. Kelleher, who's been brilliant, has thrown in 2 of them. He's thrown in 2 of them. And it just so happened that on the same night, every single Liverpool player was about a 4.5 out of 10. Every one of them.
Oh, no.
And they got punished.
No.
They got punished. It's been a bad week,
Listen,
mate.
Atalanta, no mugs, normally in the Champions League themselves, but...
No, but that normally, mate, 9 times out of 10 or 19 times out of 20, Liverpool do not get beaten like that. It's a one-off night, and they all had absolute stinkers.
Right,
Every one of them.
Did he get it wrong? Team
I
lineup?
don't think you can. I don't think you can blame Klopp on this, can you?
Well, Salah, Jota, Robertson, Szoboszlai, Luis Diaz all started on the bench.
Yeah, but you've got to try and you're mixing and matching. Look, it's always easy after the event to say, should he have started him? Should he have started him? When the result doesn't go your way, of course. But you're telling me that team that turned up there. By the way, at the end of it, they had all the big heads on.
Yeah, I know.
All the big heads are on at the end. It's just a bad night, mate. It was a terrible night for them. Yeah. And, what started out, you go back a week ago, I mean, not a week ago, but you think about what happened at the weekend against Man United.
Yeah.
And the dropping points, not bad.
Season's derailing this week.
It can happen. That's why it's so difficult to go on and win as many trophies as City did last year. They're on for 4. I mean, they're not out of it. Liverpool, believe it or not, they're not.
3-0, come on.
Well,
it's a long way back.
It's a huge journey back. Huge.
Listen, they've done it before.
They have, that's what I mean. If there's one team that you go, after that, I mean, Atalanta have got to fall off a cliff.
Yeah.
And Liverpool have got to be. Liverpool are better than Atalanta. Tonight, it was one of those games that every single Liverpool player had a stinker. All of them, all over the pitch. And you can't say any one of them played well. And we're trying to watch the West Ham game and the Villa game as well. So, you're watching between. But Liverpool won. I just thought Liverpool would turn up. Didn't start, but it wasn't the worst start. I mean, but then all of a sudden you think 1-0. Okay, it's 1-0 half time. Then it's 2-0 going, wow, Liverpool need to score. Third goal. Liverpool had to get the third goal in the game. And 3-0, mate. That's enormous. But, it's the worst performance of the season.
It's a shocker from Liverpool. Want to hear from you. Let's go to Steve. He's a Liverpool fan. Right, Steve?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, mate. I mean, what a bad night. I've not seen that all season from Liverpool.
I've not seen that in years, mate. I've been following this team every home game for about 10 years now, and I've not seen anything like that in a long time. It was shocking.
What happened? I mean, where'd it come from?
It felt like being there watching that. It felt like no one had a clue what they were doing. No one knew how to kick a football. No one knew what positions they needed to be in. It was awful.
Just happened to be all of the same night. Sometimes not everyone can play brilliantly every day, but sometimes you have 2 or 3 players that are off colour. Today, every single one of them, even off the bench, Salah should stay on side really. He's mature enough and old enough, experienced enough.
I don't know how he's offside.
Don't. But that was it. And everything that could have gone wrong tonight did go wrong. But it's not if you see Liverpool like that. But tonight, that was pretty bad.
No, it was shocking. I don't know why Salah's offside. You know what I mean? You might be one of the best players in the world, and you're offside in that position.
Yeah. Maybe the scoreline, the performance had a bit to do with that. It was a bit eager to get in there.
Yeah, panic stations.
Yeah, normally times just run beautifully. Yeah.
It almost feels like our season's ended in 1 week. You know what I mean?
Look, if any team or any club can come back in a Champions League game from 3-0 down, it's Liverpool.
I know. I was there in Barcelona, luckily enough, both games, but I don't see it happening this time.
Well, we'll see. They're going to have to if they want to stay in it. And that farewell tour of Jurgen Klopp right now is not looking so good.
It's grinding to a halt, isn't it? Grinding to a halt.
Jack. Let's go to Patrick, who's a Liverpool fan. Right, Pat?
Right, Pat?
Yeah, hi, Jason. Hi, Jamie.
How are you, Pat? How you feeling?
I thought I couldn't feel any worse, but it's oh my goodness. Jason, after the Man U match, I was raging. Liverpool, Man U was there for the taking. I was raging, but right now, I don't even have the strength to be angry. I give up. It's so. I thought the weekend was low. In fact, I've dug. In fact, I'm getting to the core of the earth right now. It's crazy. How can a season fizzle out so badly so quickly? I hesitate to blame anyone, but you see, I don't know. Klopp is not it's not new to this job. He should be able to get these guys on board. After the Man U match, one of the reporters asked him, "Are you sure you can get this?" But he says, "Don't worry about it. Just leave that to me." He said, "Don't worry about it. Leave that to me. We believe you. We'll leave that to you. Get these guys on." For me, the biggest mistake they made, no matter what you say, they underrated Atalanta. They did. They underrated Atalanta.
Do you know, Patrick, the thing is, right? The thing is, you've got to try and pick a game where the gaffer's got to go, right, that one there, I'm gonna have to try and field a team where I've got the best advantage of getting the result, but going then the next league game. What's the bigger game, the league game or that? And that's the conundrum he's faced with. By the way, the team he's put out, it ain't the worst team in the world.
No, I mean, look,
it's not.
You know, but your best players are on the bench.
Your best players are on the bench. He changed it for 45 minutes. At 1-0. It's not like it was 3-0 then.
Yeah.
And the problem is they're chasing the game, even with the players that come off the bench. I mean, I thought Jota actually added a little bit of urgency when he came off the bench. You know, that might maybe a little bit too late.
I just think they were off. I think they've just got shell-shocked by what Atalanta have done, you know? They're a good side.
Atalanta...
Some good players.
Atalanta took the game to Liverpool. Took the game to them. They had a chance. If they didn't fluke this wasn't one of those games where they broke away 3 times. They had chances. Kelleher, look, he's been brilliant for them. But it was the first goal, wasn't it? The first goal comes down the
first
right,
goal goes under.
Back.
Third one, he doesn't get a strong enough arm to it, does he? Strong enough hand to push it away.
He should catch that, I think, as well. But, you know, they're all over the place at the back by that time.
Shambles. What's Van Dijk doing? Third goal.
He's thrown in one.
Sometimes I watch him defending and it goes on like he's the best player in the world, this guy. And he's defending tonight. He goes missing.
At times he does. It's been every one of them. Terrible night. And I love to wait near, but he's up on a monitor because he's going to ask you about the team. They're going to ask you. And he's got to try and defend that. And his players have let him down tonight.
Yeah, they have. Let's go to Stuart, who's a Liverpool fan. Hi, Stu.
Hi, guys. I can't, honestly, I'm coming back from the game tonight. I've been in the Cop. I'm absolutely gutted. Well, I've seen the starting 11. I couldn't imagine many things worse unless I've seen in the back 4 Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy.
I think I'm probably defending better tonight, some of them.
I think you might have, honestly.
Yeah, all over the gaff as well.
Oh, jeez, I'm just a numpty, but I cannot understand why you don't start with the best 11 and just work from there then. It was just shocking all across the park.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I mean, but we know why, don't we? You know, he's and this is why managers get paid the big bucks, right? This is what happens.
Yeah.
This is why they get paid the big bucks, to make the big decisions when it really, really matters. And tonight, I mean, no doubt that privately he'll have a chat with himself. Publicly, it'll be interesting to see what he's got to say.
Yeah, but hold on a minute, right? You conceded 3 goals, Stu. You've got Gomez, Canate and Van Dijk playing at the back.
Yeah.
Kelleher's been, you know, absolutely brilliant. You know, he's had a bad night tonight, but, you know, it's not... The back 4 ain't far away from, you know, your best back 4.
No, we didn't do enough up front. Again, a game where we've not scored, just shocking. Unreal. But it's not Barcelona, is it? I mean, I've been a season ticket holder for 20 years. When we played Barcelona home and away, me and the missus were on our 30th anniversary in Jamaica and missed both games. And you can imagine what it was like on a all-inclusive trip. Man, I can't remember getting back to the hotel.
It's not over. It's not over. But I think, you know, when you think about the game you got at the weekend, Palace at home.
It's a big game now.
It's a massive game now, but it's not like you've got Villa at home. Do you know what I mean? Or Newcastle at home. It's one of those games.
Who have they got?
Palace at home.
I mean, come on.
I know, then you think the risk he's rolled the dice.
He's rolled the dice tonight and it ain't paid off. Big time.
Definitely not.
He's got it wrong. He's got the, you know, you have to admit that he got it wrong. But those players out there, they've all let him down as well, because they were shocking tonight. That's not a getting beat 3-0 at home team.
No, of course it's not. But Atalanta, you know, they turned up tonight. They rocked up and was like, right, let's have a go. And they put in a mega performance. Obviously, there's been other games as well. I want to hear from West Ham fans. What did you make of the defensive nature of your side? You lost 2-0 in the end to Leverkusen, but you played well in parts. I thought Antonio played really well. Kudos as well, but that's sitting in. I mean, it's going to undo you eventually, and it has tonight. Leverkusen 2-0 up against you in that first leg. Second goal kills you. It's a great header, but when you're defending like they defend, it's always going to be hard. Right, the Masters has started as well, though, so we're going to give you updates through the night. Let's get the first one of the night and go to TalkSport's Gabby Partington.
Yeah, lads, it's all started to shape up pretty nicely. Bryson DeChambeau starts and ends his round with 3 straight birdies to lead the charge. Now, there's always a lot of noise surrounding the LIV golfer. He's famously said that Augusta should be a par 67. Well, he certainly backed that statement this time, signing his card with a 7 under 65, his best ever round at the Masters. Well, it's music to our ears because two Englishmen are in the mix. The first being the 2016 champion Danny Willett, who's tied in second on 4 under. And the other Englishman is former US Open champion Matt Fitzpatrick, one behind Willett on 3 under. I'll tell you what though, Fitzpatrick making Amen Corner look more like Hallelujah Corner after birding that stretch. But as you can see, a lot of low scoring, but the wind is up big time now, so it'll be interesting to see how the late starters cope out here from this point onwards. Well, that said, Rory McIlroy seems to be thriving in it. He is from Northern Ireland after all, but he's now birdied 2 in 3 and finds himself up there, currently 2 under par in tied 8th. Well, it's early days still, but DeChambeau's still at the top on 7 under.
PGA Championship update on TalkSport with Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals, guaranteed.
Right, want to hear from Liverpool fans, West Ham fans, Aston Villa fans tonight. Big night for yous in Europe, and it's been a bad night for Liverpool and West Ham. You can have your say on 03 717 22 33 44.
The Sports Bar with TalkSportBet.com. Belching broadcaster, brilliant bookie. 18+BGambleAware.org.
Come on, the Blues! We're in white, Einstein. Whoops, Sunday League footy so British. Which reminds me, smart meters could help Britain create a future where we're less reliant on imported gas. All right. They help us manage our energy use, which improves the balance of supply and demand. So we could use more wind and solar energy from Britain.
Help Britain create a future that's less reliant on imported gas. Search Get a Smart Meter today. Eligibility may vary. Consumer action required.
Here they are, the racing lovers of the UK, phone in hand, ready to play the Coral Reward Shaker. Look at them shake. We've got the regulars at the racecourse shaking their phone with confidence. And look, they've won a free bet. Parents on a day out just happy to be here. They've done it too. An odds booster for them. Lovely stuff. Everyone's a winner. Play Coral's free reward shaker this Grand National Festival to win guaranteed daily rewards and offers. Coral, we're here for it.
18+ UK. Max 1 reward or offer per player per day. Reward restrictions, requirements and T's and C's apply. Take time to think.
And they're coming down the final furlong now. And Long Drive Home is being chased down by I'm Tired. I wish I didn't have to drive home. It's losing ground. As Better Get a Travelodge is coming up fast. Long Drive Home is fading. As Better Get a Travelodge comes tearing up on the inside. And Better Get a Travelodge takes it!
Sporting event coming up. Better Get a Travelodge. Find king-size comfort up and down the country at travellodge.co.uk.
The Masters, teeing off on now.
Now he's absolutely launched that.
Oh, now. Woods is in the woods. Now that's just magic. Now that's a drive.
Oh, now he's just pulled that shot.
Oh, now is this the putt that wins him the green jacket? Now there it is.
Stream The Masters and all of Sky Sports without a contract. Head to nowtv.com.
Sky Sports content streamed via internet. 18+. Full terms apply.
At BetMGM, we know how to put on a show. That's why they got me, Chris Rock, to bring you BetMGM's casino offer. We don't just bring you a welcome offer. We bring you a deposit match of up to £200 cash and 100 free spins. Did you hear that, people? 100 free spins. Get ready for the golden era in online casino. BetMGM, it's showtime.
Minimum £10 spend. New customers only. Wagering requirements and conditions apply. 18+. Please gamble responsibly.
Don't miss out on the best bits this summer. Watch tennis on your Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 FE whilst catching rays. The races whilst at a party. The 100-metre sprint whilst at a wedding, if you dare. Or any sports whilst you're roaming at home with your tablet. Plus claim free Buds FE with your purchase at Currys. Win-win. And hopefully, win. Wi-Fi connection required. Purchased by 30th of May 2024 from Currys. Claim Buds FE in white from Samsung.com within 30 days of purchase. T's and C's apply.
You're looking good. You're looking sharp.
Righty here. I'm just giving the new Gillette Labs razor a go, and it's smooth. 5 long-lasting blades, and it's got a flex disc that adapts to my gorgeous face. Done in no time, then it goes back on its magnetic stand. For a finish almost as good as one of mine. And if you don't agree it's the ultimate shave, get your money back. 18+, retain receipt, terms and conditions apply.
The Sports Bar with TalkSportBet.com. Download the shiny new TalkSportBet app at the App Store and Google Play today. 18+BGambleAware.org. first kick of the weekend is Game Day Breakfast. Saturday morning from 6 on Talk Sport with Tony Cascarino and Natalie Sawyer.
First live football, fixture talk and full flavour fan food.
With big game previews.
Big name exclusives.
And qualifying comment from the nation's destination dawn chorus of Cascarino and Sawyer.
Unequivocal, qualified comment and concentrated club talk.
And everything you need to set up your Saturday.
Pitch perfect and ready to play.
Game Day Breakfast, Saturday morning from 6
on Talk Sport.
In comes the corner from the right-hand side. Very deep towards the far post. Boniface, what a block from Zuma. Number left-footed effort comes in from the edge of the penalty area. And Hoffman has squeezed it past everybody. In comes the corner, swung in deep. Oh, Boniface, it's two. It has unravelled really quickly at the end of the game because they're going to have to overturn a two-goal deficit against a side who haven't been beaten since May.
Yeah, you are listening to the Sports Bar on Talk Sport with me, Jeremy Hart and Jason Cundy. We're taking your calls tonight on Europa League action. 03 717 22 33 44 if you want to have your say on it. West Ham, they got beat in the end 2-0 by Leverkusen. Let's go to Paul, who's a West Ham fan. Hi, Paul.
How you doing, mate? You all right?
All right, Paul.
Yeah, Paul, look, how you feeling? I thought it was a really good performance defensively away from home, but then the two late goals, it just kills you.
Look, I'm a West Ham fan, massive through and through, and on paper, Moyes is the best manager we've had, but he makes them decisions. We're 1-0 down, he puts two defenders on. He takes two forwards off, and we're 2-0 down. Now we go back home, we're finished.
Yeah.
They weren't a good team. How they win in the Bundesliga? I don't watch Bundesliga football.
I said the same thing to Jace. I didn't think there was anything special. Like, they weren't like I was watching like a vintage Man City. You know, I was like, they're a good side. They're okay. But they don't lose, mate. They don't get beat.
I don't follow it, but how on earth are they top of the league by what 7, 8, 9 points or whatever they are? And then we just sit back, and we take a forward off, we take another forward off, we put two defenders on. All of a sudden we're 2-0 down when we're 1-0 down, when we should have been probably 1 or 2 up. I'm sick and tired of it. And you know, on paper it's fine. Everyone says on TalkSport, West Ham are fine. They've got the best record, this, that, the other. But you go over there week in, week out and watch it, and this is what you watch tonight. And it becomes acceptable.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't think 1-0's a bad result. 2-0, that late goal from Boniface, that's the killer. That's the real wound.
It's a long way back.
That is a long way back.
It's a massive killer, but he's put two defenders on, so two forwards off, and we're 1-0 down.
He took one forward off.
No, he took Kudos and Antonio.
No, I don't think Antonio come off, did he? No, I don't
if I'm mistaken,
Never Parnas come off. Never Parnas come off, and again came on. Yeah, I mean, at that stage at 2-0, at 1-0, I understand his thinking, don't concede the second goal. But when you do, then it looks a terrible decision. It looks a terrible decision.
Look, but you know what you're going to get. You know what you're going to get from your manager in them games. You know, we've sat there saying it. This is going to be an away performance from West Ham where they're sitting, they're resilient. You know, they're going to throw bodies, you know, in front of the ball. But are they going to do it enough to get through the tie? And
well, if West Ham scored a first goal in the next game, West Ham scored a first goal.
But they've got to come out and try and win the game now. We know that.
Scored a first goal.
A 0-0 we would accept it because they're not a good team, they're not a great team, not a Premier League team. They're like Bournemouth in the Premier League.
Out top the Bundesliga, they've been Bayern Munich.
They're going to win it on Saturday this
weekend. They lost the game.
That's that bad. It's like the Scottish League.
And this is Scottish League.
We've got turned over there from a team that ain't a good team. You know, they're not Man City.
So basically, what you're saying is you've just got beat 2-0 by Bournemouth.
Basically, yeah. You're a Tottenham fan, you don't like it anyway, so...
No, it's not over, Paul. Look, 1-0, you can defend that performance. 2-0, then you go, Right.
Yeah,
that's a tricky one now.
Yeah. Paul,
we won't need you at centre-half, can they?
No.
Paul, top man, mate.
To do what? Irons! Give me an irons, Paul.
Yeah, sure.
Irons!
Irons!
Love it, don't you?
Oh,
that's harsh from Jack. Let's go to Stephen, who's a Liverpool fan. Right, Steve?
Right, Steve, by the way, sorry, where is Kloppy at 100% Mo?
Well, he might be trying to get through. It's a busy night.
Now, phone them. Get Mo on the phone. We phone 100% Mo. He always wants to get on his moans. He can't get on. We'll phone 100% Mo.
Steve, we want to speak to Stephen
Right,
right
Steve,
now.
go.
Hi, Steve.
Hiya, lads, you alright?
Yeah, look, I mean, that was a shocking night. I've not seen Liverpool like that this season at all.
No, that was difficult to watch that tonight, to be honest. I've seen the team, strong team. We should have beat them 2-3 now, going in before the game, obviously. But they turned up. They were excellent. Outplayed us. It's like watching the under-9s play. They couldn't get two passes together. They're getting in behind us, getting through the gaps, opening us up all the time. Don't think one player had a good game tonight. Except Jota when he come on. He was the only one. Everyone was shocking. I don't want to see Gakpo play for us again. Been saying that all season. He's not a Klopp player. He's not a Liverpool player. Doesn't put the press on. He always goes back. He's negative of his play. Everything about him is negative. Like he can barely run with the ball. I think it might be wrong, but I think it was against United or City where we broke. We had 4-on-2. Gakpo was with the ball. Should have put it out wide to Salah. But he held it, and lost the ball. And we should have had a goal.
You defended tonight, Steve. You defending, mate. Come on. You can blame the forwards. I understand that. But
our defending was shocking, but our problem is we're not scoring either. And it's like when Klopp first took over, we have to outscore teams, and we're not even scoring. We can't put the ball in the back of the net, and we can't defend our net. And it's just a disaster from the back line to the front line. But even Salah, if you look at the last couple of weeks, Salah hasn't been at his best either.
Do you think that the season's starting to catch up with you a little bit, Steve? Because Liverpool have been bloody good all season. You know, you perhaps getting the sense that, you know, you're down the home straight now, that there's starting to be a few failings in the squad.
Something's going on, like you can feel it. Don't know whether it's all the injuries that we've had. Obviously, we've had Trent out, haven't we? We've had Jota out, we've had Becker out. But that's going to have a part in it. But yeah, I think it's taken its toll now. But then, you know, you could say, what about City? They won the treble last year, didn't they? And they're still going strong. I know they're third, but they're starting to turn it on now. Yeah. Got the boy in the back, Haaland, you know what I mean? So you can't say the season's taken its toll. You should be pushing towards it, you know, looking forward to it, but it's not happening for us at the minute. Really not.
Steve, listen, wait there, because I want you to listen to your manager, Jurgen Klopp, who asked why his side didn't perform well tonight.
Atalanta is causing as many teams problems with the way they defend. So, obviously. Maybe I'm wrong, but I cannot now remember a situation where they outplayed us, and it's just they won the ball, and then they went from there. So it's a good idea. You need a lot of tactical discipline to do what they did. They played that man marking over the whole pitch, as Ederson, pressing, whoever Curtis in our own box, stuff like that. So you know, and that was the reason why they won the game, because in these moments you just want to win the ball, and the reason and man marking is uncomfortable when you are not on top of your game. That's why so many teams might play it again, because if you are in a better playing mood than we were tonight, then you can cause massive problems, but we didn't. So that's the reason. They defended us, and we didn't try it long enough to play. So then we just suffered from the way they defended. That's pretty much the explanation. That's the one point.
Yeah, Jurgen Klopp speaking after the game, he's not happy.
Liverpool, I mean, in terms of both ends of the pitch, they got it right. Liverpool didn't.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go to Grant, who's a Liverpool fan. Right, Grant?
Hi, mate, all right?
Grant, look, obviously a bad night. You've just heard your manager speak there, and it's not been good enough tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, it's not good for us. We've got to drive back now to South Wales, but I don't think it's all doom and gloom, to be honest. I'm glad he went the league game. I'm glad he was the UEFA Cup, do you know what I mean? Europa League, whatever. because if anyone's going to turn it around, it's us. We got Jota coming back, Trent coming back, Ali be back. You know, I think that's the end of the rubbish now. It should be good going forward, you know.
What, you think the
end of the rubbish?
What do you mean?
Rubbish.
You think you're going to crack on now?
Well, yeah, I really do. We got all these players now coming back from injury. Like, I know why we were rubbish tonight, because we always play with a wing back. Simicast was rubbish tonight. Gomez didn't have his best game. It was just no creativity, was it? It was just flat along the back. All he done was play sideways and backwards. And then we put it up. What we have? 3 chances. One of them being offside.
So you're not bothered? Grant?
What's that, mate?
You're not bothered?
I am bothered, because obviously I spent a lot of money. I booked a day off and I've come up here. But I don't think it's doom and gloom, do you know what I mean?
Well, you've still got a second leg, Grant. It's not over yet.
Yeah, that's it. It's half time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's Liverpool, so never write us off.
That's true. That's true. Never write us off. All right, Granny, thanks for your call. Let's go to, can we go to Rich? He's a Liverpool fan.
All right, Rich.
All right, Rich.
Evening, gents. How you doing?
They're good, matey. Look, you've been at the game. No flags tonight, Rich. Was that maybe maybe the problem?
I don't think that was the problem. I think our problem was the fact that the players didn't seem to know who each other were. I was hoping Klopp had stopped the game halfway through the second half to introduce everyone. It was dreadful, and I know I listened to Klopp's interview a minute ago, and he was talking about the man marking, and that, you know, I get that. What I would argue against that is where you've got Ibu Konate with absolutely no pressure on him, putting the ball out for a throw-in. That just shows the level that all of our players are at tonight, and I think, you know, I'm picking that moment out just because it was a really obvious moment. He was under no pressure, and he's just tried to play a ball forward, and it's just gone out of play for a throw. But that was systematic right through the entire team tonight. I think when Jota came on, he injected a little bit of urgency. His first few touches were brilliant. That drive into the box, it got a free kick. But apart from that, you know what? You've got to take it out to Atalanta. They came with a game plan. They executed it perfectly. And Liverpool, being as poor as we were tonight, just played straight into their hands.
Rich, it's the worst I've seen Liverpool play in ages. In fact, you know, you might be able to tell me the last time I see Liverpool. Certainly under Klopp, I can't recall off the top of my head. Are you of the mindset that maybe this is just a one-off? Everyone's had a stinker, or do you think that there is something a little bit more deeper than that?
I'd like to think it's just a one-off. I don't think we've been playing particularly well in recent weeks anyway. I think we've done enough to get through games. Obviously, the United game aside, we have normally done enough to turn games around and win them. But you can't keep going behind in games and turning it back around to win it. It's not going to happen all the time. And I think where we've sort of fallen short, it's just not being able to put the ball in the back of the net tonight. You know, we've had chances again. Obviously, Salah was offside for his, which is one of those things. But Núñez just didn't do anything. Gakpo was exactly the same. Elliott, I thought, was poor. Simicast was dreadful, and I thought towards the end of the game he only had 1 sub left, and I was hoping he could take 2 players off and just put one on, because I think at that point, taking Gakpo off, taking Joe Gomez off as well, who I thought was absolutely dreadful tonight. I think, you know, it's easy in hindsight to look back at that team that started the game and go, well, it wasn't great. But actually, the team that started should have been enough to beat Atalanta.
It's one of those games where every single player, I mean, I singled out Jota, that he looked like there was something about him, but, you know, you can't leave it down to him. All over the pitch, every single one of them. I mean, Keller's been brilliant this season. I think he's too good to be a number 2.
Yes.
Tonight, he looked like a number 2 goalkeeper tonight. That's the first time I can say that.
Yeah, he did. He absolutely did. Rich, brilliant call. Let's go to Bobby, who's a West Ham fan. All right, Bobby?
Evening, boys. How we doing?
Bobby, I mean, it was looking like a good performance until the 2 late goals, and the last one just buries you. And I don't know what to say with West Ham. I know you're going to be angry, but it was almost a good performance.
Well, I'm actually going to have to disagree with the West Ham fan that was on previous to me. We've had a lot of success in the last 3 years, and a lot of that seems to have gone to fans' heads. But we can't forget that I grew up as a kid watching West Ham languishing down the bottom of the Premier League. I watched us in the Championship. For the last 3 years, we've been in European football.
we've won a European Cup. I'm not sure how West Ham fans can be disappointed, can be frustrated with Moyes. And look, for the best part of 80 minutes, we went toe-to-toe with the best side in the Bundesliga.
No, I agree with you, Bob. And, you know, and that the killer goal is the last one. 1-0 is not a bad result. It really isn't. Going away from home, and you know, as you mentioned there, in form, the best in Europe. That killer goal, Boniface's goal, that's the one that really does change the slant on it. And that's where West Ham fans will kind of say, or it backs up their argument to say that David Moyes should really have perhaps changed something a little bit more proactive, as opposed to like, okay, we'll take what we got. But I've seen managers do that. Managers in Europe, 1-0. Sir Alex Ferguson, some of his games when he was at the height of his peak of his powers, he'd go away. He would sometimes have a stubborn, hard to break down, get him back to Old Trafford and finish the job. He would do that at times.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, absolutely. Can you do it though, Bobby? Do you think you've got it in a locker after watching Leverkusen?
Look, when under the lights we'll get the stadium rocking. I'd have taken 2-0 at the beginning of the night. We played Leverkusen in pre-season. They'd done us 4 or 5-0. The issue is going to be that we're without Paqueta, we're without Emerson, we could be without Bowen. Yeah. That's going to be the issue. But Leverkusen are a different animal. They are a different animal. Yeah. Comparing our bench to their bench, they brought on Boniface, who scores goals for fun, and we had a load of kids and Danny Ings on the bench.
I thought Antonio was good. I thought what he did up front at
carried
times,
the ball,
hold
strong
up play, caused a lot of problems.
Yeah.
I got largely on his own. Isolated up there.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I think he's done a really good job. Bobby, thanks for your call. Let's get back to day one at the Masters with TalkSport's Gabby Partington.
Yeah, guys, we saw thunderstorms overnight, didn't we, causing a 2.5-hour disruption to the opening round of the Masters. But no more rain in sight at Augusta means play is well underway. Everyone's teed off now, and some have even finished their rounds. So here is how it's all starting to shape up. Well, favourite and world number 1 Scotty Scheffler races up the leaderboard as expected, 2 shots off the lead, with a seamless bogey-free round so far, and stands alone in second. Defending champion John Rahm hasn't had the start of dreams, registering 3 bogeys on the card, but did just birdie 16. He did start on a double bogey last year and won, so you can't determine who wins on round 1. It is Augusta after all. Well, Tiger Woods gave us a start we all wanted to see and opened his round with a birdie. He has bogeyed the 4th, but it hasn't stopped the patrons from gathering round in their masses to catch a glimpse of one of the greatest. But guys, the busiest place in Augusta, I've got to say, it's the merchandise shop. After the poor weather, you would have thought it was the brollies flying off the shelves, but the item that's been selling out within the hour are the gnomes. But right now, it's still DeChambeau stealing the headlines on 7 Under.
PGA Championship update on TalkSport with Arnold Clark. Click and collect from the UK's biggest choice of used cars.
You went out to the Masters a couple of years ago, didn't you?
Yes.
Last year?
Yeah,
What was the
couple of years ago.
What was the busiest place that you saw out there?
There's a few places, mate. There was a nice wing place. There was actually.
No, there was a bar.
Yeah, there was a
bar.
Yeah.
You said it's really busy every night.
Yeah. I can't remember what it's called, mate.
Come and sit down, man.
I can't remember what it's called, mate. Can't remember what it's called. It was good though. It was lively.
So you told me.
It was very picturesque, that bar down the road. Hooters it was. Right, keep your calls coming in. Want to hear from Liverpool fans?
Hold on. Where's 100% Mo and Clobby?
I ain't phoned us up, mate.
Where? Can we?
100% Mo has gone on the missing list.
Where are they?
He's on the missing list.
Where are they? Let's send out. We need to send out a search party.
03717223344.
The Sports Bar with TalkSportBet.com. Brilliant broadcaster, best in class bookie. Say no more. 18 plus BeGambleAware.org.
All the big names are here. Ooh, who is that?
I think she was in the movie about that really big shark.
No, not her. The florist.
She's automating invoices on the go so she can spend more time on that flower wall.
QuickBooks can save you up to 8 hours a week, so you can bring your vision to life. That's how you business differently. Intuit QuickBooks.
Catch something big at your local Admiral Slots Casino, because Big Bass Bonanza can now be played on the high street. Ditch your phone's small screen and bad internet connection and upgrade your gaming experience at Admiral Slots today. Hook some big free spin bonuses and play for up to £500 jackpot at your nearest Admiral Slots Casino. If you're ready to play, spin safe at Admiral Slots, where our friendly team are on hand to help you play responsibly and stay within your limits. Visit admiralslots.co.uk for more. Over 18s only. Please gamble responsibly.
Girls,
Sean! It's
Bedtime!
One more race! I'm almost done!
Okay, kiddos.
That's enough. Time's up.
On to the app.
Your Wi-Fi is going off.
Going off.
EE Broadband lets you pause the Wi-Fi on your kids' devices, helping them to switch off and drift off. Search EE Home.
Eligibility criteria apply. New EE broadband customers.
Here they are, the racing lovers of the UK, phone in hand, ready to play the Coral Reward Shaker. Look at them shake. We've got the regulars at the racecourse shaking their phone with confidence. And look, they've won a free bet. Parents on a day out just happy to be here. They've done it too. An odds booster for them. Lovely stuff. Everyone's a winner. Play Coral's free reward shaker this Grand National Festival to win guaranteed daily rewards and offers. Coral, we're here for it.
18 plus UK. Max one reward or offer per player per day. Reward restrictions, requirements, and T's and C's apply. Take time to think.
The Masters, teeing off on now.
Now he's absolutely launched that.
Oh, now. Woods is in the woods. Now that's just magic. Now that's a drive.
Oh, now he's just pulled that shot.
Oh, now is this the putt that wins him the green jacket? Now there it is.
Stream The Masters and all of Sky Sports without a contract. Head to nowtv.com.
Sky Sports content streamed via internet. 18 plus. Full terms apply. With the all-new Mini Countryman, everything just got bigger. That means Mini's biggest electric range. Bigger technology and bigger adventures. With space for everybody. Even him. He's a good boy. And all this bigness comes from the Mini. The new Mini Countryman, our biggest Mini ever. Book your test drive today. Electric range 245 to 287 miles. WLTP figures for comparison purposes. Real life results may vary. Test drive subject to status and availability.
At BetMGM, we know how to put on a show. So we don't just do offers. We do golden offers like this.
MGM Millions, our supersized jackpot where right now you could win over £18 million.
Get ready for the golden era in online casino. BetMGM, it's showtime.
Minimum 10p game stake. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
Don't miss a nanosecond of all the thrilling live football.
What a goal!
Supersize your April with 50 live games
That's that!
on TalkSport and TalkSport 2.
You are listening to the Sports Bar and Talk Sport. Me, Jamie Hine, Jason Cundy, taking your calls for Europa League action. You can also WhatsApp voice note us on the same number, 03 717 22 334. We will get into a little chat about Rufus as well. This is his last night on the sports bar with us. So
little celebration.
We'll have a little celebration a little bit later on. We'll get Rufy in and you can help us out and say what you think of him. You can voice note us anything you want to say to Rufus for the years of hard work and laziness that he's brought
finally,
to the show.
management have listened to us.
I know.
They've finally listened to us, Joe.
Got rid of him. Yeah, moved him on. Shifted out.
Oh, I think you said that. You got to say that. It'd been correct though if you said that word.
Let's hear again though from Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp, who refused to look ahead to the return leg in Italy.
I believe that that's not the moment to talk about that. So what I can say already, I'm not in the mood to think now about a game which is in a week's time when we have another one in between, but what we definitely will try for that, we have to play really good. We try to win the game there, and then we will see what we can do from there, but that's now not the moment for being, I don't even know what the saying is for that, having a big mouth and just telling them what we'll do there. We have to play a really good game when we arrive there, but this was probably a low point for us performance-wise tonight, I would say, for a long time. So I think it should be possible to play a little bit better. If you can play a little bit better, you can play much better as well. But first and foremost now, Sunday. That's much more important now.
Yeah, Jurgen Klopp there speaking after the game. They've got Palace at home Sunday, then Atalanta, and then Fulham. He'll be kicking himself tonight because look, he was angry. We saw him on the sidelines. He changed the team, the players have let him down.
Yeah, I mean, he will reflect, and a couple of Liverpool fans have alluded to the point that the team wasn't the best. But I'm sorry, but that team defensively was a shambles tonight, all over the pitch. All over the pitch, they were terrible.
Yeah.
But even when you bring the big heads on, they didn't have a huge amount of
Atalanta were
they were
class.
good. And Keller after his error, he made a pretty decent save. I still feel the strikers should have done better with it. His touch was poor, and Keller comes out and smothers it. Could have been 2-0 at half time. It wasn't as if Liverpool were dealing with that. I thought they were decent, but I mean, he's got to look ahead to Palace first.
Yeah.
There's no point looking ahead too far. But
Right, let's go to Kieran, who's a Liverpool fan. Hi, Kieran.
Hello, mate. He's okay.
Right,
Yeah, good, mate. Look, you've been at the game. Atmosphere obviously was bad in the end, and Jurgen Klopp weren't happy with the players. They really did let the team down, let the fans down tonight. That performance.
Do you know what's crazy? So, just off what you said there, Jimmy, like, he turned round to us, like I said, just not far from behind Klopp, like row 22. I turned round, he's like screaming at the supporters. Now, I understand, like, he wants, a lot of people say about Anfield, the 12th man and everything, to get behind them, but it's difficult, isn't it? Like, for me, this season, the way I look at the situation is that this season we've gone behind a lot of times. We've got most points from behind positions, which is not great. It proves that we've got defensive errors. And tonight, for me, look, there's no way of trying to explain the situation. We got beat 3-0. It's not good enough. I understand that. But for me, it's a few different things. Like, I'm at the game. I'm looking at every player. Like Endo and McAllister in the middle tonight, he looked tired. He really did. Every player didn't play well enough. I agree with Cundy early on. Everyone was a 4.5 out of 10. But, I'm not saying that people can go, oh, you're meant to be a Liverpool fan. Facts are facts. Atalanta set up well tonight. They really did. They set up well. But there's no denying we were shocking. So when you've got players who are tired, they set up well and we're not playing well. It all coincides. But even at half time, because people go, right, the setup of the team. Now, that setup of the team, any Liverpool fan before that game would have said, it's not that bad. Do you know what I mean? How many games this season of certain players started, and we've got results like that here. Tomas Castle, playing at the full back, he starts the game. But, Klopp changed at a half-time, brought 3 players on, which was one of our best players, and it didn't work. And then he brought Jota on, and when Jota come on, he was the only one who looked like doing anything in the game.
Yeah.
It's a great point you make. At half-time, this was Liverpool's team. Keeper, Gomez, Kanate, Van Dijk, Robertson, McAllister, Endo, Slobosai, Salah, Nunez and Gakpo. That's the second half team that started, by the way.
1-0 down.
1-0 down, second half team. They conceded 2 more goals with that team.
And the thing is as well, Jake, like, you look at the team, right, how many times this season he's brought kids on and they've got a result and everyone's like, yes, Klopp's made a great decision, and I understand that. Look, it's just everything's went against it tonight. And, don't get me wrong, it could be a bit of everything, but, do you know what, for me, right, the driving force in that team, McAllister and Endo have been absolutely world-class this season. And I look at it, and I just look at them in the middle tonight, and they look tired, and it looked like they were just running through the team. It was a strange. I don't think we're ever going to. Klopp now will be analysing that. He will be looking at himself and what could I do different. It's the first thing managers will do.
Yeah.
I think it might be one of those performances where you just say, do you know what? It was just one of those days where everyone had an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like half decent. Terrible.
I mean, you're used to having nightmares like that, Chase. What would you do afterwards?
Well, 11 cundies out there. So that's what happens.
There's 11 cundies out there.